obviously first thing in the morning, or not
Mm.
first thing, but in before 12, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It sounds to me like somebody, it was either maybe possibly laying in wait that may have seen her. And I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
that's a regular path for her to run.
Yeah.
Or, um, I mean, it's very hard to, I mean, I can't say that it wasn't random, but it doesn't seem like something random. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, so it does kind of seem like something random to me, just simply based on the fact that she was not a student there. So it's
Well, that,
not like
yeah.
this person was following her. You know what I mean? Although I
Well,
would have to
yeah,
know like when like when she got there. Had this person seen her with her friend on campus or something?
right.
But
Uh, yeah, and
right.
like I said, if this was a regular path for her, well, how long had she been in this area?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? I don't know when she got there to
Mm,
visit the friend. So,
okay,
like,
gotcha, gotcha.
somebody could have seen her on campus and followed her when she went jogging, but right now I just look at it and say that it's probably completely random.
It could be then. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. Was she ever a student? Do you know ever at Georgia?
She's a student at Augusta.
But she was never actually ever a student at that place.
Well, all they said was she's not a current UGA student.
Okay, gotcha.
So I don't think she's, I mean, she looks quite young, right? And
Yeah,
she was a
yeah.
nursing student at Augusta. So she probably hasn't been
Okay,
there.
gotcha.
But
Just visiting then, like, yeah, okay.
right.
So this 100%, I had a couple of things that I wasn't not clear on, so I'm sorry about that. So definitely then I take it back. Definitely could be very random.
Yeah. So
Excuse
they
me.
say investigators will look at every camera that we have. We're not going to leave any stone unturned. The woman was found unresponsive, not breathing, and with visible injuries in the forest area behind Lake Herrick by officials at 12:38 p.m. on Thursday.
Right.
They received the call at 12:07. So that tells you how fast they found this girl,
Absolutely.
which
That's
you'll
good
see
though.
why in a minute. But from a concerned friend after she had gone to run at the intramural fields and had not returned as expected. There has not been a homicide on campus in the past 20 years, Clark said. I want to start off by saying this is a tragic day, and I want to offer my most sincerest condolences to the grieving family, friends, and campus partners. UGA classes were canceled for the remainder of the day on Thursday and the entirety of Friday. Lake Herrick and its surrounding trails, which are within the Oconee Forest Park, are a popular recreational space near UGA's intramural fields. There's a dirt trail and a few wooden bridges surrounding the lake, which is a frequent route for joggers.
Right.
The majority For the majority of the trail, the lake is on one side and a steep wooded hill is on the other. And then I have this one. Is it? There's one. Here we go. Her parents, I guess, have spoken out.
Right. They did. April Wine has a good point. They found her really fast, and that doesn't happen
Oh,
here.
yeah.
That's interesting.
That was like, well, you'll see why in a second once I show
Okay.
you. You got to watch it on YouTube, Dago, but
Gotcha.
you'll see why they found her, in my opinion, so fast. Laken Riley was a beloved member of the University of Georgia community. She was known for her passion for environmental conservation and dedication to her studies.
Get it back
That's weird that they say University of Georgia community. I wonder
Mm-hmm.
if the two schools like work together on, you know what I mean? Hi,
Yeah, sure.
Sarge, by the way. I can't believe you've been quiet this long.
Well, this is new to me. I don't know much about it. So yeah.
So somebody said up here in the chat that she was a. Where did it go? undergrad student from UGA.
Oh, that's weird because they say she went to Augusta. That's weird.
Maybe that's what that means. University of Georgia, Augusta.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, but well, see, hold on. There is an Augusta University, right? So,
okay. Gotcha.
Similarly, she was described as a kind-hearted individual with a contagious smile. She touched the lives of those around her with positive energy and compassionate nature. Unfortunately, her promising life ended abruptly on February 22nd, 2024, leaving her loved ones and the UGA community with a void in their hearts. Laken's radiance brightened the lives of those in her circle, imprinting an enduring impression on their hearts. Her lively character and captivating smile brought happiness to numerous individuals, while her consistent kindness and empathy impacted many others deeply. Moreover, her memory lives on through the impact she made during her time at the university. And I guess this is just talking about her parents. She was born in Athens. Her mother is a retired teacher at an elementary school. And she had a sister, obviously. Specific details about her father remain undisclosed. It's evident that her parents faced the unimaginable tragedy of losing their daughter at a young age. All right, so let me show you the area. So they keep saying this Lake Herrick area, right? And this is the Lake Herrick area, and this is like the intramural tennis court, and then you've got the band practice field right here. However, where they found her was actually by this area, right? This lake part right here. And I don't know how to turn this thing. I wish I did. But, and I doubt I can. I
So
can't
that's
go
what,
down there.
on to a private residence there?
I don't know what all that is. But I know she was like, you can see the trucks, and they're like line. They had one stop in traffic coming in this way, and on up here, right? They had it was like set up. I think it might actually be like right in this area because you can see. Let me show you the video I have. Oh, that's for Sarge.
What?
Nothing. Calm down. All right.
I don't know that I was on con.
What?
I didn't know that I was on con.
If I have her Facebook, everything pulled up, if you want any of that, let me know. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Are you putting it up on the screen, hon?
Yeah, but I don't put it up where you guys are. I put it up.
Gotcha.
On YouTube.
I think people saying they're not seeing anything. I didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah, I'm not done yet, y'all. Hold on.
No worries.
Patience.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it so very much. Please hammer that like button on your way in the door, if you will.
Does it indicate how she was found, who she was found, who found her, or anything like that?
They haven't told any of that, right? They just say, like, she was found. Let me hold on, y'all. What the heck? I don't know why. I hope y'all aren't hearing that bling.
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay. Seriously, how often do you guys hear my phone when it rings? Like, blows everybody out of their seat.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. I think I figured out a way to make it stop though.
Okay. This is the graphic part, by the way, y'all. Sorry. Let me digress. So if you get all little like weirded out or whatever, then you might want to not look at this part. But it honestly, huh?
I'm still shocked that they show this stuff.
Yeah. So this is what I believe to be her. I mean, it just looks like a person to me, but that's just me. So there's other shots of like them being out there, and you can just tell that the area they're in is by this little culvert thing right here. They have like a truck right here. You got to keep in mind, right? There's probably less greenery and leaves on the trees. And you can see the like GBI truck, which would be Georgia Bureau of Investigations, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a really sad case. Like you're just going jogging. You know what I mean?
The sad thing is this is becoming so commonplace nowadays. I mean, so commonplace.
Do they have any suspect?
No.
No.
And I don't know if she was unclothed. It almost looked like she probably had like black jogging pants on and maybe like a light colored shirt, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
they did. That's how I think they were able to find her so fast.
Gotcha.
Is because she was right off. Because I mean, with that helicopter flying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could see something, I think, out of place in those woods.
And
they're go ahead, sorry.
When did they find this young woman?
So the girl called, I think her friend called at 12:07 and they found 12:07 the friend called, 12:38 they found her.
God. And how long has she been missing, does it say?
Wow.
No, she went for a jog that morning. And at 12 o'clock, her friend called because they were worried. They called for a welfare check because she hadn't come back like she was supposed to. So she or he, I don't know what it is yet, called the cops and said, my friend's missing, went for a run, and they're not back. And so that was 12:07. Lake Herrick, cops went out there, 12:38, they found her. It almost makes me wonder, was there some type of like sign of a struggle on the road?
Or maybe some things laying around.
Yeah, like, because I mean, or they just really used
the people may have known the people that called. See, Mike, how long was she gone before they called?
Did it say what time she left that morning to go jogging?
No.
Okay.
And then did it indicate that she's on a run? She takes the same run all the time?
No.
Well, she was visiting that area.
That's what I've gathered, is that she was visiting, but I could be wrong.
And it maybe, if she was a regular visitor there, she went up every other week or something.
Because I mean, they're very specific to say the woman found dead on the University of Georgia's campus on Thursday was not a current UGA student. And from what I gathered, she was at Augusta University. So as a nursing student. So I think she just went to visit this person. I think, okay. So there, I'm not the only one. Someone else heard they were visiting, or she was visiting. I'm going to show this to Sarge real quick, y'all, because I told him I had something that would pique his interest. Are you ready, Sarge? Are you there? You got your coffee? No? Okay. You see how he does? He gets on here and he don't even pay attention. Like a rat on amphetamines. I'll have to text him to tell him to come back. So we have two conflicting statements in the chat. One said they heard she was visiting too. The other said she lived there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe someone on the trail called and notified.
Well, and here's another option, right? Let's say, did they say anything about finding their cell phone?
No, they aren't giving out anything.
Because I mean,
anything in her Facebook indicate her locations? You know, it's a daily thing where she lived.
Well, what I was getting at with the cell phone is if she had, some kind of Find My, app or something
Tracker.
like that. Maybe,
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they. But I mean, that's
Okay, so she was a student of UGA until last spring. So she was probably back there visiting people.
yeah.
Was she assaulted sexually?
We don't know.
Okay.
Like when I tell y'all they're not giving out any info, they are really not.
Yeah,
Well,
they don't
this
do
is
stuff like this.
well, they super fresh and they're trying to hold back anything to keep anybody from running.
Yeah. All right, Sarge, are you ready?
Yeah, I don't know what for, but sure, I'm always ready. What are we doing?
Just say yes.
Yes.
It sounded like it hurt.
No.
Yeah.
That was a yes.
You know he's weird like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here you go.
Okay.
Oh. Something I'm reading on her Facebook clue is a little weird.
What?
Something about this I'm reading on her Facebook is a little strange.
Okay. Hold on, and I'll let you put
Go
it up.
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. I didn't mean. That's awesome, Kim. 16 months. Wow.
What is it? Is there supposed to be volume with this?
Are you not hearing it?
No.
No. Oh, I think it's because it's on. It's
The
on
YouTube.
YouTube, not StreamYard. Okay, so can you? I don't know if you need to start it over, but
No, you don't need to start it over.
no, it's not on StreamYard, Dago. Only on YouTube is it playing.
Okay. That would
So
explain
I'm going to
it.
mute my mic and listen.
Okay. So let me explain. This guy slammed his chief onto that car because he's drunk. He showed up drunk to the scene of this DWI this cop was trying to handle.
Right. I kind of gathered that. I was wondering what the hell was going on for a minute.
I thought maybe this chief was part of the DWI stop. In other words, involved in it. Okay.
So he shows up to the scene drunk and he comes over and I guess he grabbed the guy because he was telling him, come here. And he's like, let me do this DWI, right?
Right.
And I guess the chief grabs him and he literally slams him on the car. And he's like, get that F out of here. Yeah, he was a big guy.
And you notice the other cops didn't step in, really. They were just like, yeah, it's your fault, bro.
And I think, yeah, that's the one thing that made me go, okay, so everyone knows this dude is like probably hammered.
This must be a regular thing, I'm guessing, too.
Right, because he says, did you hear him? He's like, he's drunk again.
Wow. Gotta love it.
There you go. Yeah. One bad apple trying to spoil a whole basket.
This is the big apple, too.
Well, this is Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah, if you can hear their accents, kind of give that away.
When you can't trust your chief, that's just a problem, folks. Sorry,
but that's what happens when these people find themselves. It's so common in this country that people get in a position of power and they just abuse it for self gain or for self, grandiosity. It's bullshit.
And you heard what he said. He was like, "Oh yeah, now you're in trouble now." No, I'm not in trouble.
And I guess he was wearing I don't know what happened. I stopped watching because I was like, oh, this is a Sarge video. Corruption. I was like, I'm not gonna watch the rest of it. I'm just gonna wait till he's
thank you very
watching.
Much.
So I don't know what happens. Okay. I know there's quite a bit left in the video, so I guess we'll see.
Well, it seems like they're over this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do agree with that.
Well, and this is now becoming like a fulfilled prophecy by what I've been saying for over a year. The people in charge interfere with the people that are doing their job. Like in that video with the interrogation, guy's got a man in a room that the investigator and the big wigs had decided they weren't going to charge, and this guy's got to go in and deal with this little creep, right? And not go off the edge of the cliff. This guy is trying to do his job. How about the other guy in that traffic stop where you said, no, you got to say that car hit your car.
Right.
When the video clearly shows the cop ramming that car to protect his comrades, right?
Right.
And it's constant that these, I don't know, even people that get to become the head of a daycare somehow act like they got some kind of power they can wield over others. It's crazy what's happening in this country with this.
No, I do agree. I want to see if they...
the people in my side are saying they can't see it. Clue, did you share it in?
It's not. I didn't put it in StreamYard. No.
Okay. Are you able to? Because I think they should see that. That was insane.
Let me see how I can figure this out.
It took me a minute to. You should be able to just.
You present it, don't you? Isn't that what you do? You drop it in.
If we're running the same thing, you should be able to, because I can see it, but they can't.
Let me see something. Hold on.
You guys got to see that. That was crazy. It took me a minute to start then I was listening to the chief's voice, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Right, but to me, the crazy is the chief. I think the police officer. You know, it's like, again, this shows it that just because you have a badge doesn't mean you're any different than anybody else walking this earth.
Oh, and what is this jacket? Is this jacket a police jacket?
Yeah, so I don't know what that was about, right? Like, I don't know if it.
I don't. Going the very beginning.
Yeah, he says
going the very beginning. There was something he was trying to.
I will. No, I will, because I think what he says is, oh, it's washed off. So like maybe he had washed his jacket and the back of, whatever's supposed to be on the back of it wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm assuming right now.
I'm trying to read what the breastplate reads, and I can't quite make it out, but I can
Well,
see
here,
it. On the,
I'll go from the beginning since the people.
yeah, I want you guys to see
StreamYard.
this. This is crazy.
All right.
Hey, Moonlit.
So here we
If you, I
go.
guess my face was priceless. When you were
volume?
saying this, I'm going.
Turn on that little switch for the volume too. Make sure you got that set.
Oh crap. Hold on.
There's a lot to it.
Well, you know, we help each other through it. Your handicaps will help you get over them, Clue.
I miss it all the time. That's why I always got to go back in and reload everything.
Okay. So it should have the audio. If it doesn't, stop me and tell me. But
Yep.
All right. So let me go from the beginning.
Has no other injuries that we need to be aware of.
I am as good.
I can't get any. Can you tell me your first name at least?
First of all, why do you get a jacket on that stuff fit to be worn? What's on the back of it?
What do you mean?
Look at it, tell me what's on the back of it.
Oh, it washed off.
Yeah, I think get rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So he says, oh, it washed off.
What is he referring to, though?
I think, you know how on the back it says, like, I don't know,
Police
North
or something?
Shore Police Department or,
Yeah,
or
he said-
something.
Why don't you get a jacket on that's fit to be worn? Meaning something probably advertising who they are.
Right.
Well,
It's probably
okay.
it's probably
Let's
just
see if other
gone.
cops have something on the back of their jacket he doesn't when he gets.
Well,
back
that
to the
one guy
cops.
he walks up to, it says police, but it's a vest. So I don't
Okay.
know. We'll see.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
You're a sergeant for God.
Okay, Chief. Let me work this DWI, okay?
Come over here.
Chief, I'm on a DWI.
Over here.
Chief, I'm on a DWI.
Get over here.
I'm on a DWI.
Yes, I'm taking a break.
Chief, I'm working. I don't have time to argue about a jacket,
Get
okay?
over here.
Don't you
Stop
touch
me.
me. Don't you touch me. Don't you fucking touch me. You have a problem? Fuck. You grabbed me. Now get out of here before you get a problem.
Take him out. Take him.
No, you're going to go in.
Take him.
Drunk again. Whose keys are these?
They're mine.
Get out of here.
No.
Chief, get out of here. You're going to get locked up.
No,
Chief, you're going to get locked up. You're grabbing me. I asked you 3 times to leave me alone. You're obstructing my DWI.
Billy, come over here.
Let him go.
That's the first thing.
I'm trying to get away from everybody.
Shut up, because you're in trouble now.
I don't like that. How he under his breath kind of says, I'm trying to keep you away from everybody.
Right.
But at the same
Well,
time, I don't know if he
trying to
was
control him.
right.
Like,
I don't know if he
trying
was
to
just saying that
protect
to
him.
like calm him down. Right. But
Yeah.
if it's to the point where he's trying to protect him, that's BS.
Yeah.
The man is out there drunk. Don't play games. Like, you
That's
know what I
dangerous.
mean?
That's dangerous because it makes you
Well,
wonder.
I'm also going to say he shouldn't have put his hands on the chief like that.
No, I agree with that. I was getting ready to mention that the way he grabbed his arm.
Well, no, the way he laid him up on that car. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That's wrong. There's no.
That's what makes me feel like these guys are probably over this guy at this point.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dago. Like 100%.
Man. Doesn't matter. He's not supposed to do that.
It's in New Jersey, guys. So, all right, let's keep going and see what happens.
Now,
No,
stop,
I'm not
please,
in trouble.
Stop,
I'm not in trouble.
stop.
You're going to be in trouble.
Stop.
You're going to be in trouble.
Billy.
Chief, I'm working at
I'm
DWI.
listening to you.
Okay.
Shut up.
No.
You're in trouble because this is the first thing. First of all, I was about to say to you, you stupid. I was about to say to you, what do you need OEM for?
You're
That's
embarrassing me in front of the men about the jacket.
No. That's neither here nor there.
Okay.
That's neither here nor there. Now we got a real fucking problem, Billy.
Yeah, we do.
I know.
We do.
All right, you're gonna.
And I apologize to your chat, Dago. I know a lot of them don't like the cussing, but I didn't edit the video.
But it's part of the video. It's not a big
It
deal.
Yeah.
needn't be edited.
They understand. They understand.
All right.
Have to go inside.
No, how about we do
No.
this?
No.
But we go
Billy,
inside.
Billy, you're gonna have to go inside right now with me. You're gonna have to go inside and
We're
there's
in a
gonna be-
serious collision.
Billy, you're not doing anything when I'm on the scene. Okay? You should know better than this, my friend.
No.
Listen to
You
me.
grabbed me.
No, I said
You were out
come
of
over
line.
here.
You're out of line. You grabbed me. It's on video.
Billy,
It's on video. I'm not
Billy,
going to argue with it. I have a crash
Billy,
to work.
Billy,
I have a job
Billy,
to do.
you're
okay?
relieved. Billy, You're relieved. You're relieved. No, Billy. You have to understand something. You're relieved. Billy, you're relieved. Go home.
Wait
For me.
Yeah, it's in my crash.
No, Billy. You're relieved.
I have officers here,
Billy.
right here. They could get waffle because my car is blocking it.
Billy, you're relieved.
No, Chief.
No, Billy. Please, Billy. Don't. You're suspended, Billy.
I'm suspended?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going home.
Yes. Billy, come here.
I'm going home. We can't talk. I'm suspended.
No.
I'm suspended. I'm going home.
And you're going
You can't do that.
No, I'm not. I'm suspended.
I'm
going home.
You're going to go in the head cushion and wait for me there.
Let me work my crash. This is why I'm here.
Billy, you're suspended.
All right, if I'm suspended, then I'm not going to wait inside. Nothing more.
No, Billy. You have to. Let me explain to you. Billy, you're suspended.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, pause this for a minute, Clue. Okay. Thank you. So this is bad in a whole bunch of ways. First of all, obviously they can both get in trouble. Second of all, the people that are around here, like citizens that are watching this take place.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what does that say to the police force in Jersey about this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? They have no control over themselves or their situations. This is so bad, like so bad in so many ways. The guy cannot just say you're suspended on the street like this. He can't relieve him of a situation. I mean, this at that point like that, because he's intoxicated, he can't make a good decision. I mean, and there's multiple witnesses that can tell you that.
But that's to be now. Once he takes those actions again, it's like anything else to be determined at a later date. But he has the authority as the chief of police to relieve this man of his duty.
But do you think? I mean, yeah,
I'm not agreeing with his action. I'm just saying that as wrong as it is, he does have the authority over that officer to do what he's doing. I'm not agreeing with it, but to be clear, that should be sorted at a later date. And when you offer a suspension to an officer, he's protected by the union, and you're told to shut up.
Right, that's true.
Right?
I do know that.
Right, so
we had that.
So those two utterances by that drunk piece of shit. Excuse my language. That wonderful, drank a little bit too much guy. You know, it is what it is at this point. I feel bad for the police, and I've been saying this forever. Good people are being disturbed and made to do things that they wouldn't normally do by threat of their job, by jerks like that.
The chief is drunk, Josie, the bald guy. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess what I was trying to say is right. I agree with you on that. Like, because of his position, he does have that right wherever they're at. But the point is to be determined at a later date. So you're right about that. I guess that's what I wasn't adding to what I was saying. This is just crazy. I've never seen anything like this before.
Come on, this is Friday. Let's have some more Friday frenzies here. Keep
well,
going.
they changed camera views, so I'm wondering if they get like into another altercation.
Go for it.
Yes.
Right now.
Okay.
Wait for me in there. That's an order.
You're not about to suspend me, then give me no order. I can promise you that right now, bro. I ain't got to do nothing you say. After you say you're suspended, you're relieved, I'm done.
Here's my question, though. As a law enforcement officer, chief or no chief or mayor, governor, do you have the right as a law enforcement official to stop your superior from doing what he's doing right now and arrest him?
You know,
the responsibility.
That's what I was thinking.
Right. Like, I would think that it would be the responsibility of the officers there, if he is truly intoxicated, to get him
step in and stop this. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, those two guys kind of look like they were about to, like they were holding him saying, look, calm down. And it's almost like if I kind of feel like if they felt that big guy did anything wrong, they would have been more worried about him, but they were worried about the chief going back over there.
They're probably worried about Billy beating his ass.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
It was either for his own protection, or they knew that the guy was right. He had some merit in what he did.
Right.
Because that is, I'm with Dago on this one, like, boss or not, You can't put your hands on somebody.
No.
No, I never. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I don't
But
think you should respond as
you're
vehemently
not
as the
supposed to
police
respond
officer
with
did,
violence.
though.
That's right. That's where Sarge is right on that. Like when he put him on the hood, hands or no hands, that's even if it wasn't his superior, that's not what you're supposed to do. And
Right.
the whole
And he targeted. We didn't see the reason why he, he's talking about something in the back, and the guy had something in his hand that he threw in the car. So
I think
is what he was referring to, where it was washed off? Was he referring to that garment that he had in his hand?
Yes, his jacket. He's saying, why aren't you wearing a jacket that's fit to be worn? So my assumption is
I
it
didn't hear him
says
say that.
something like whatever police, and he's had it so long it's been like
Yeah.
frayed in the washer, right?
Right. It's like an old
right,
dog.
right.
All right, let me play the rest of it and we'll see what happens.
Can you do me a favor? Can you put your car where my car is so our officers and first aid don't get run over, please? Thank you.
See what happened there?
Yes, Chief.
What happened?
There's some type of exchange between you and Sergeant Major.
We're going to talk about that later. Everybody's got that. Billy's suspected. You really got this. What do you have here? What do you have?
We're trying to figure that out, Chief.
Okay. Go on, Billy.
So that's weird. That guy, we were listening to the other guy's camera, the audio, and he's like, "Did you see what happened? There was some type of altercation between you and Billy." Where we're going to talk about that later.
Right. Yeah, he's trying to get allies now. The chief is trying to get people to rally.
And Billy, I take it Billy's a ranking officer, a sergeant.
That's what he said. He's a sergeant.
Okay, got you. Wow. This is a mess. Complete mess.
Yeah, when he walks off, that cop that we were listening to, he's like, shit. Like they know it's like,
yeah.
And there's like people across the street watching too. If you notice when he threw that guy on the hood, there's like 10 people standing there. Anyway.
I mean, in there.
Yes, you're going to meet me in there. Go and put the door in right now.
There's nowhere to put her. She's going to ruin things.
Okay, we'll leave her in there. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, I got people on the road. I want to make sure they're safe. I don't want to run you over, so watch out.
No. Come on. Go ahead. You know I love you. Come on.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Billy.
Why would you do that to me?
Stop. Billy, stop. You got enough problems already. Please.
Okay.
Canine guy too.
Canine too. Wow.
Yeah, I caught that. I wonder if he was like, I wonder if they're like family or something.
No, there's an ongoing issue between the chief and this officer.
It looks like it's a small town based on what you can see here, and
it's a burb.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, I love you, blah blah blah. That they probably known each other for a long time, and so on and so forth. If they were related, this would be a huge mess for sure.
Right,
but,
P. Fox. Like I was thinking the same thing. It's almost, which I know they kind of get like that with their chief, right? Because you are like a family when you're in these types of.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I get right. I know what you're saying.
Career. There we go. Wake up, girl. But it's like he was really almost like maybe like I won't maybe father, son-in-law. You know what I mean? That's common.
Yeah, very much so.
I don't know what town it was.
I don't think it's anything to do with them being related. They if you looked at the cop originally and then you looked at the chief, I don't see it.
Well, Billy could be married to his daughter, or they could just be. It could be that. It could just be the fact that they just know each other. That's all. You know,
they work together. I mean, that's enough to know. I think they work together. And it seems like there's got to be a point of contention between these two individuals.
And the backstory, you guys, real quick. Somebody said that I seen in chat was that it just cuts to the beginning. In the beginning, it cuts right to the point that the one officer they're at a DUI stop. The chief shows up. He's intoxicated, and he's distracting the Billy officer, the sergeant that's doing the DUI over a damn jacket. and it turns into this. So
Bradley Beach.
before that, I have no idea what went on, obviously. But what is this? November of 23?
9th. It was this happened November 9th.
Yeah.
So it's very new.
Yeah.
So it's like
Relatively
10:30 at
new.
night. 10:30 at night. This is just crazy, though. I mean, I've seen something like this happen, but it wasn't with the police. It was with the fire service. So
let me
Go ahead.
share this
Go ahead.
with you on everywhere, I guess.
It makes you. The thing is if this, say the chief is, maybe he's an alcoholic or he does this regularly, and the man has control of a gun, and he's probably obviously showed up to other scenes besides this one, and who knows what could go down. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you on that.
He shouldn't even be there. Not to mention the man's driving, obviously, while he's intoxicated as well. Showing up to a DUI, like, come on. If that's not irony.
100%.
People get that title and the power goes to their head. It could be the manager at Walmart. And you know, there's examples set throughout our entire nation. The people that have titles are the ones that make the choices and do things that.
And he's directing this officer to be wearing a specific type of jacket. The man showed up. I'm reading here. It says it in tennis shoes, athletic wear, with nothing claiming that he's police either. So, in essence, he's interfering in that scene, and nobody knows who he is.
Yeah. So it says. Good. We got some names. Chief Leonard Gita, whatever.
Guida.
He's
related to our buddy Guida.
It's Guida. Like Guido.
And admonished Sergeant. Why won't this
Friday.
let me move this? Really?
Can't F with the sergeants.
Okay. Chief Leonard Gita admonished Sergeant William Major for wearing a police jacket with a peeling logo. When he refused to let Major return to a crash scene, Major shoved him and remarked that he was drunk again. Gita subsequently relieved the sergeant of his duties and suspended him, but it was the chief who later ended up on administrative leave. Administrative. Okay, I will wake up at some point this morning.
Well, and that's what. Yeah, they probably sent him to rehab too.
He's got 12 steps he's got to climb now.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, I'm not even like, I can't really fault that cop. Like, if you know he's drunk again or drunk and he's out there, like, I mean, I might put you on the hood of a car too. Like, no lie. That's crazy. Especially when you're like, it's public safety, right? Like, he's trying to do a job.
Officers are trying to restrain the police chief as well without undue force.
Yeah.
If you see that picture, see?
Yep.
They're trying to keep him the two separated. You know? Yeah, this police chief should be relieved of his duties and sent home to fucking, I don't know, watch us on true crime.
Yeah.
Right? That should be his punishment. Here.
No, I firmly agree with that, actually. So
unbelievable, man. That's the nature. It's the state of things and around so many different issues with these crimes that we see. There's just all this this questionable activity and decisions are being made.
did you want to put up that Facebook or Dago?
An alcoholic, he needs treatment. Yeah. I think we've become too soft on how we deal with addiction too. Crazy.
I do agree with that.
Way too soft, man.
I don't know where Dago went.
You got to put them people on Naked and Afraid. See how that works out for them. Right? What the hell?
I guess he'll be back in a second, guys. I don't know.
Who, Dago?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
here.
Okay.
What did he say?
He's here. He's back.
You want to put that Facebook up or?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull it back up.
Give me some moving. Well, yeah, unbelievable, right? This guy doesn't even look like a policeman. That's the other thing. How do we identify that guy as even a policeman? That guy that's the chief, and he's worried
Right.
about this guy's jacket. If you had to
Right.
decide who the cop was, right? If those two walked into a room, you would clearly not realize the other guy with him was a policeman. The
Yeah, I'm
chief.
trying to
Oh,
see
boss.
like what it said on his shirt.
Yeah, it's weird. There's something. Yeah, I was trying to look at that too, but I didn't blow it up. So
I can't make it out.
yeah, see if you can get it. I'll increase my screen to full power. Scotty, get us out of here.
So you said there was something weird on this or something?
There's something written on his coat that.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, it's just Facebook. I'm sorry.
Oh, Heather, he was probably carrying. I mean, if he's the chief of police, but you never know.
Latest news: Discord has another link.
Oh,
That's an Listy said it.
yeah.
It's like worse and worser. Is worser a word?
Why can't I move
I don't know.
in this link? Okay. Jersey Shore police chief on paid leave following off-duty altercation with cop.
He was off duty then. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll read this in a second. Let Dago find whatever he was talking about. He ain't doing much talking, so
Hold on, I gotta find it again. I don't know what happened, but it's in here. Hold on.
No rush. Is her Facebook in here? Yeah. Tore up from the floor up. You got to ask, how does a guy like that even become police chief? You know?
I know.
It's incredible.
Definitely not an unfair question. Like,
No, whose ass did he cover for before and they promoted him? That's what you end up having to consider, right? I mean, not whether he's got skills or not, but you don't go anywhere drunk. He drove to that scene. How did he get to the scene? You have to make the assumption he drove. So he's a drunk driver going to a drunk driving scene to then correct a man because his jacket's wore out. Unbelievable.
kind of shows he might work his ass off.
Yeah, it's just
Okay, here it is. And it's probably just me overreading something, but I would have thought they would have probably written this differently. It made me wonder if they found her that way at first or not, or if it was just the way they wrote it without thinking. But in here it says that she was found dead on Thursday afternoon in a wooded area behind Lake Herrick near the University of Georgia. In Athens, Georgia, about an hour east of Atlanta. Police believe foul play was involved in Riley's death after she was found unconscious with visible injuries on her body.
okay.
Was she found dead or unconscious?
She was pronounced dead at the scene.
So she was still alive when they got to
Possibly.
her.
Okay.
Yeah. I read that earlier and I was like, well, wait a minute. She was found unconscious with injuries. So
that's sad because as fast as they found her,
yeah,
that's creepy to me because they found her that fast. She was still alive but unconscious. So that tells me that whoever did this very likely was probably right around that area still.
possibly. It depends on her injuries, right?
Yeah.
To me. But I tell you one thing it does make you think about, in my opinion, is had somebody in that Idaho house actually dial 911, could some lives have been saved?
I said that months and months and months ago.
I mean, we all have,
Yeah.
but this
I
is
mean,
a
that's
good
why I got,
example
yeah,
of
bingo.
maybe.
Bingo. I mean, that's why I got so upset about the Dylan Mortensen thing, because if you'd have dialed 911 when you heard what was going on, knowing that we all know that they did, okay, at least she did. And when you heard all this noise and racket and everything going down, if you called 911 right then and there, you could have interrupted it, possibly. If the police got there in 2 minutes, okay, that we know that there were police out and patrolling the campus that night, right across the street. That call would have
Right.
went through. They'd have been there. They could have interrupted this possibly and saved a few people possibly, and had the person in custody right there.
No, for sure. Like if she called when she heard the noise upstairs, like if it didn't truly just sound like Kaylee playing with the dog,
Yes.
and she would have called, then absolutely they could have gotten there maybe in enough time to at least get the person out, scare them. You know what I mean?
2 of them could have survived possibly, or more. We would have had somebody. We wouldn't be sitting here talking about this right now. You know what I mean? I mean, that is so critical, and it should be made such a big deal. It really should.
Chad gave you a super sticker. Dingo.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that so very much. Once again, God bless. But yeah, that's insane. This is a great point. You know, like I said, knowing that the time that it took them to find her, the fact that she was still breathing probably and was pronounced dead on the scene, that's sad. That's very sad. And it scares me because, like I said, that person very well could possibly still have been around depending on what the injuries were, right? Excuse me. Crazy, guys. You know what? College is becoming not such a cool thing anymore. Like, I have a 17-year-old kid, and it scares me to even think about possibly sending him off to college, you know?
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that before the live started, and it's like our daughter, she's got the grades. She's got what it takes. She wants to go to University of Tennessee.
There you go.
It's like, I told Beyonce, I'm like, you realize we're going to have an apartment there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it's in the budget. Because he knows, like, that's terrible. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, when I hear these stories about these kids that just wander off, whether it's the mom, a caretaker, whatever, it just infuriates me because it's like my child is 18 years old and I still get my rear end out of the bed.
Yeah.
30 minutes to 45 minutes earlier than I have to and make sure I watch her actively get onto the bus.
Same here. And my kid's bigger than me. He could wrestle a bull, okay? I don't care. I watch him step his foot on that bus and the door close and I know he's okay.
Right.
And I live in the country. Nobody's going to do, I mean, knock on wood, I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm petrified, you know? I want to go to school with him. If he goes up,
right?
We shouldn't want to hold our children back from going off to another state to go to college to make something of their lives. But at the same time, if my son were, say, for instance, even to go to, like, because he's very artsy, okay, what if he were to go to Pittsburgh Institute of Art or something like that, which I'm not okay with that. We're moving to Pittsburgh.
Right. So let me tell you, there was a situation kind of near us, and I you know how we were talking about knowing where your kids are going and who they're going with.
Yeah.
So there was a situation kind of near us where a friend was staying the night with one of his friends, right? Just a regular sleepover.
Yeah.
The parents got into an altercation. The kids had already loaded up in the car, and the mom of the kid that he was staying with was getting to the car, right? The dad comes out and starts shooting.
Oh my God.
and killed the kid that was staying the night there.
I covered a case last summer like that. That's insane. See, that's what I'm saying, you guys. Who do under these kids are adults in some senses almost. And like Clue's daughter is an adult. My child will be an adult in May. I'm scared to death to let them be alone. You know what I mean? What kind of life was that? What kind of life was that?
Those are just listen, and those are just the kids that make it to the news or make something horrific has to happen. But the actual disappearance of children across this country is stunning. And the sad part is forced sex, the forced sex and the forced abductions for these people to be sex workers. It is the absolute largest grossing income industry on the planet.
That's a fact.
Until none of these companies come close to the illegal sex trade in dollars and cents.
And it ain't even just kids. I was just telling Clue Sarge about a case I just saw. There's a bust, sex trafficking bust in Texas that involved, I think it was
63.
And it,
sorry.
From ages 2 to, go ahead, Clue, whatever you were saying, the ages.
I thought that's what you were looking for. I swear you said either 60 or 63. I think 63.
Yeah. Ages 2 to 63. So, like, this is insane. A 63-year-old person has been taken and trafficked.
I mean, we shouldn't be surprised, but again, there's not enough of us pushing back on securing America for being America. You just shouldn't be able to walk in here and then get free money, food, and housing, and all of the stuff that's happening. I mean, we could say it's Americans doing it, but when they claim 360,000 children go missing in America, it's not my kid, it's not your kid. It's got to be the kids coming across.
Wow.
And then they're shipped all over the world. This is like it's so sad and sickening that you just want to bury your head in the sand and wish you didn't know it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Right.
I wish I didn't know about it, but we do, and that's where it gets hard. You know, I've been covering the whole, like I told you guys, I live near Cleveland in Ohio. You guys remember how many people I told you were missing? How many kids were missing out of Cleveland alone?
Yeah.
In a month's period of time, over 1,000 kids. What?
And again, most of these kids are minorities, and you would think with all the nonsense they talk about how they love minorities that these people would get more attention than attention could be given, and nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to be able to do something about this, you guys. We cannot keep living like this.
No.
This country is basically in a coma. Basically, this country's in a coma. It's crazy, folks.
Actually, I think it's in free fall, and we're gonna hit the bottom of that free fall sooner or later. We're in a dire free fall. We jumped from a plane with no parachute.
Thank you, CR, very much.
This right here, this absolutely is just shocking to the core to me.
Yeah.
Biden admin lost 85,000 migrant children. Where did they go? How do you lose children? Where are they?
Well, I wouldn't think they're all missing. I think what you're seeing there is also a paperwork malfunction as far as the bureaucracy goes. I wouldn't think that all 85,000 of those kids are missing, but I wouldn't think that none of them are. I mean,
right.
Not everybody is evil, but the system has become evilly corrupt.
Are they being recorded? Okay. Is there documentation and paperwork on all of these people, these kids, every bit of these people that are being brought into this country and then sent off? Do we know who they are, where they're going, who they're with?
They try to collect information when they cross, then they put them on a bus and these people disappear. And you're like, where do they go?
Yeah. That's it.
Where's the kids that came with them? Are these kids brought over by coyotes, or is that really his father?
And this is
coyotes aren't just men, they're men and women.
And that's another thing with this whole immigrant scenario that's going on that I made a statement about the other day. There's people in our country, us, okay, that are not good people. And now that we've seen that you can contact the government and say, hey, I want to take on some immigrants. They don't do any background checks because they did this within an hour and dropped people off at these people's houses and left, okay? So they're not checking backgrounds. They're not looking into who you are. So if we have a pedophile that calls up and says, I want this bring me some people, okay? And they have kids. Who's to say that this is not going to happen? And then what? How is that going to be carried out? And how's that going to be handled and taken care of? Because if these people aren't per se legal at this point, they're not American citizens at this point, who knows? It'll just poof, it's gone. That can't happen. It can't happen.
Well, it is happening. And I don't know, awareness of it is important, but getting the officials in charge to do something about it, like the idea that people opposed building a barrier so that you could regulate who was coming and going. If that's the view of the world that you have, there's something drastically wrong with your view in light of the fact that hundreds of thousands of children go missing. That view is wrong. Because if you're really worried about the people coming from these poor nations, why don't we just send them $1 trillion and let them feed themselves? Why are we letting them take this trek to come up here to disappear and become some sex slave somewhere?
Right.
What's wrong with us? Can't we have if we want to have real compassion for people, then it has to be a factual, but you have to have the facts. And if you're unwilling to pay attention to the facts or consider them, then you don't even know what the word compassion means. You're just being an obstinate a-hole.
I mean, that's a good point. It's a fact, guys. I mean,
right? Because you hate the guy that said we needed a barrier that was enough to let all these kids continue to be stolen and sold. And really, because you hate the guy with orange hair, or what if the guy had black hair and he was even someone else? It doesn't matter who it is. Biden actually said he was going to start building the wall. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Yeah, I did.
It's okay for him to build it, but nobody else.
I remember.
Right. Yeah.
It's just insane, man.
And the thing is, you guys, is it does matter, but doesn't matter. If these people are coming in here from other countries, they're still human beings. They're still people. Okay. They don't deserve to be treated like trash or like, I can promise you that there's people out there that will take these families in. It's already been documented. It's already happened. And make them do their cooking and cleaning and laundry and babysit their children, and they go live their lives. And that's what they get to do for living in my home. It's gonna happen, you guys. It's gonna happen.
It not only is it gonna happen, but again, here we're getting this told to us by people that claim how hateful the white man was to minorities, and yet here we are now. We're going to give them a group of minorities that they can actually have work around their house for just a trade off of food and housing. Really?
Right.
Isn't that slavery too?
100%. I agree.
You're not paying someone to wash your dishes the wage or what dishwashers earn, then you're enslaving somebody.
That's right.
That's the reason why, just so you know, I won't hire illegal immigrants, not because I object to them, but because you could take advantage of them. All my competitors in construction do this. They pay them a third or more less than the going rate and pocket that money. That's a form of slavery.
I got to say this. I'm always the unpopular opinion, but that's okay because y'all know I'm all right with it. I don't know what in the world would make me think for 5 seconds that if I went to another country illegally, that I would be welcomed with a job, with a home, with safety at all.
Right.
So it almost is a question of why, like, where is the perception getting to these people that they're going to be okay when they get here?
Well, they don't even understand our language half the time. So when you tell them something, what do they know?
Right. I went over a story last night where this 19, he's 19 now, he was 18. The cops stopped him and were asking him something. He didn't understand the English, and they get into a scuffle trying to arrest him. Well, the cop had a heart attack and he died. So they're trying to get the boy for, I don't know if it's involuntary manslaughter or something. It's something to do with his death. And now the kid is suing the cop and the police station, right, for the fact that he shouldn't have these charges. It's not his fault he didn't understand English. Does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. And it's like, what if that happens to one of us on the street? Like, I know that people have sympathy and things like that, but it's like, think about it this way. What if your kids went into a store, and when someone that's not from here finds them to be threatening, but they're not, they just can't understand the English, and they shoot your child, are you going to be upset then? And then they can turn around and sue you because your child was threatening them, and now they're in jail because they killed someone.
Yeah, the thing that's happened in America that a lot of Americans just don't accept and they don't want to take responsibility for is there is no separation between you and your government. You are the government. You are the defender of the Constitution, not the guy you elected. If the guy you elected isn't doing his job, then you're supposed to remove that man. And I'm not mean violence or nothing like that. I'm talking you can have civil disobedience and you can have civil demonstrations that don't encompass any kind of crime. And that's the problem we have here in America. Americans think, well, we got a military, we got police, we got politics. No, when them systems break down and become corrupt like this and they endanger the lives of hundreds of thousands of children, it's not even, there's no other comparison to make. That situation is standalone. I don't care if they don't feed the vets. I don't care if they feed the homeless. That's a separate issue. This one issue is crucial to the solvency of the country. And yet American people, for some reason, are divided on that. And I would suggest that rather than arguing with one another, we should take the facts, show the facts that all these kids are missing, and ask any red-blooded person, is that okay with you? It's not. They were better. They were better off in the country they came from by staying still. They weren't being taken from there, right? They're enticed by our government to come here through benefits and housing, and to what avail? And all our money goes to that. All our money goes to different countries to fight and kill each other. And we act like, oh, well, it's the government. Well, no, we're the damn government.
See, that makes me irritated. That if you're a veteran, combat vet price, that is the stuff that just, y'all, I see red. I see freaking red. You guys have shut these schools down. You've kicked the kids out of school, told them they got to homeschool.
Right.
It's almost like I look back now, and I'm not even trying to be funny or like a conspiracy, whatever. If you look at me that way, oh, well, cool. But it's almost like what happened in 2020 with the whole closing schools, staying home, staying away from each other, was almost like a practice run. Because they have literally shut these schools down. They're not even letting your children in New York go to school because we have to have a place to put illegal, mind you, okay, immigrants. And on top of that, we're handing them money hand over foot. But yet you can go downtown, San Diego, New York, wherever. And how many veterans are sleeping on the street, need mental health help, need access to food, water, shelter. It's freezing in some places and they're underneath a bridge. No, it's crazy. Like it should anger so many people.
Everyone.
But see, there's so many people that just despise others that want to do the right thing. Their only reason is they want to be combative and they want to create chaos, and they want to just take any opposite position that's going to create an argument. And that's exactly what your media is programmed to do to us. They create arguments out of everything rather than trying to find a common ground solution, which funny enough exists on every single issue we have as a nation. We all can agree to some simple common sense solutions. And it's got not to be political, don't need to be from your Democrat or his Republican or that. Just simple solutions. And yet there isn't a single voice out there arguing for that. All of these things can be solved, and they don't need violence, and they don't need even protests. Just people to come together and realize if you really value human life, right, or children, even though then there are solutions. And one of them would be, imagine if our country's invaded. Are you telling me that our army couldn't fight on our soil? Are you telling me we didn't use an army to kick the crap out of England? Of course we did. So where's our army now when it comes to our border securities? Where? The idea
In
that it can't be
Ukraine?
deployed on American soil is insane when your nation is being invaded by foreigners.
Because we're too busy minding everybody else's business with our military. That's
Right.
why.
Right. Where are they? They're in Ukraine right now. That's where they are.
Yep.
And
Fighting.
they're buying votes. What Americans don't realize is when they're paying off your school loans and they're giving all these people free money to come over here, guess who they're going to vote for? The corrupt regime that's there. And I don't care what it is. They're all corrupt, right? They're all complicit in this.
Agreed. And I don't care when nobody says, go. I know y'all might not like him. I know he is bat crap crazy, but go watch JLR. Go watch his videos on this border stuff, and you will see it is a myth, a lie, a unicorn chasing story that it is families coming over here. You want to know what I see? I see people that do not look Mexican. They do not have children, and they are all grown, and I mean grown men.
Yep.
Alone, no family, just traveling all by themselves. Right. I don't want that crap, especially when you're not vetting any of them. They got to stand in line for what, like 2 hours, and then you put them on a charter bus to whatever city you've decided to keep them in until I guess they decide they can leave. Someone volunteers to have them in their house. That's crazy.
You know, everyone, I hate to bring this up, but if you think about it, when 9/11 happened, those people came into this country and were taught by our people how to fly planes, how to be involved in society. And came, if we go with the story of what happened with 9/11, okay? They came here, they went into schooling here in our country, taught by our people that they turned around and tried to completely destroy.
Right.
Oh yeah, let me tell you how bad it is. Heather, I think it was Heather Fitzgerald maybe, told me that if they serve in the military, they get citizenship. And I'm like, oh, that's the brightest idea the government has ever freaking had. Invite them behind the scenes and let them know exactly how strong, how weak, how vulnerable our military is. That's great. That's amazing. I'm moving. You laugh. You will find me retired in the Bahamas.
I told my wife I was ready to move to Australia.
I'm either going to the Bahamas or Russia. I will be an upstanding citizen and respectful of their culture because I will know Russian before I get there.
It's scary, guys. It's scary. And we're the people. This is okay, granted, this is our government. They work for us. But do they? Because they're not.
No, they don't.
What kills me. That's what kills me. We made this country. We, the people, made and built this country, and it's been taken from us.
But you can't. That's the thing, right? Like did you see the meltdown that occurred on January 6th? Did you see the meltdown? Mm-hmm. All 2020, there were riots in the streets. They lit stuff on fire. They were throwing bricks at cops. And it was like, we're not going to call in the National Guard. We think we can control this. Da-da-da-da-da. You let a crowd of people go up to Capitol Hill. And oh my gosh. It's
well, can I just say something? There was an incitement protocol that they put in place. So those people were at rallies all over the country for years with this guy, and they never committed an act of violence. Ever. Yet when they were in DC, there were specific agitators, and there's evidence that the FBI and the Department of Justice and other agencies had people in that crowd, and those people were inciting and creating. Now, this is an emotional topic, and it wouldn't be that hard. And you've seen it in chat rooms, maybe, I don't know, especially in chat rooms or political talk, how people will jump to right away they want to do something violent or get crazy. It's not that hard to incite a group of people that are being torn down anyway by their own institutions. And so it's a we're like on a precipice of failure. We're being deindustrialized on the argument of global warming. We're being deindustrialized. And we're being converted and invaded
A
by
lie.
people from different nations coming across our border and giving free housing on our dime. The money we work for to support our families is being taxed, and our government's using that money to do that. And in addition, they're using your hard-earned money to create wars and strife across the globe.
Are they paying taxes? No.
For what? It's just that we need to start creating a voice where I don't care who you vote for. I think there's a lot of things we can agree on that matter, right? You don't have to worry if I believe in Jesus or Buddha. It's none of your business. And I won't make it your business by bringing it up, right? There is a way. We've got to find a way to accept that we're all Americans in the same boat. And really, the solution isn't trying to realize the promises in that document we call a constitution. It's never, ever have we ever lived under those promises in full. We never have.
Do you guys see
we need to get there?
Right, I agree. Do you see the comment that Will B just put in the chat? That's fact, folks. I read a story about this months ago, actually. Large tracts of farmland being bought by the Chinese near military bases. Does that not make anybody go, what's going on? Come on.
Oh yeah, I saw that. And it's like
I read it.
Major acreage. Like it is a massive plots of land.
What did I say last night? Multinational corporations should have no right to ownership of American anything.
Well, and see, most people don't realize that the number one group or the largest group of people that are coming here illegally, that it is becoming the largest group of people are Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They have the largest military in the world. I don't care what anybody says. You can see it.
Oh, yes. And if you ever watch them march, honey, against these little soft kids we got in our military now, it would be a joke. It would last 5 seconds. They are all in unison. You won't even see a finger out of place. Like they are that good.
They're born, bred, raised, and trained for the military. Period.
Like these kids can't go outside and jump on a trampoline for 5 minutes without dying, needing water.
I want to say this. Remember during the first Iraq war and how all the Democrats didn't want us to go to war? And then all the Republicans did. And then eventually they all agreed and went to war. We're doing the same thing again with Ukraine. Except this time it's the Democrats that want the war and the Republicans pretending they're not going to go along with it. And in the end, all they've done is go along with it. And it's this fake perception that we're two different sides of the aisle that we all somehow have agreed to. I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. And it's bullshit. You're an American. Your political party is no better than mine. They're all scoundrels. All of them. Okay? Yeah, and that includes the good ones that don't stand up and point this out, which there are many of good people in there. They just don't have the balls to stand up and say what's right and wrong. They don't, so they're complicit by inaction. The whole system is corrupt, and it's got to be stopped. It's got to be changed, or this is gone. There's no other nation on earth, and I'll tell you where I get my love for the country. I was an abused, abandoned scoundrel of a human being that this country gave a second chance to be who I am today. You're not going to get that in China. You're not going to get that in other places of the world. Of the 130 nations, there's only one I know of that'll do that and give you those opportunities, and that's called America. That's why it's worth keeping and worth fighting for. We shouldn't have 30 trillion in debt and a military bombing all over the world, man. No, it's just wrong. We're doing more harm than good as America now, and that's why a lot of Americans are hated worldwide, because we don't stand up to our own government.
And I want to, along with that, I saw a comment. It's been a few minutes ago, but talking about some place wanted to do something, but they can't get the mayor to listen, and the mayor won't listen to its constituents, right? And it's like, and basically the feeling of helplessness, I think, exists across the country. And it's one of those things where if you really step back and look at it, and I know Sarge and I have talked about this before, it's one of those things where everything you do comes at a cost, right? even sitting here doing nothing but being mad about it comes at a cost. And that cost is going to be a point where we're no longer the United States as what any of us remember what it could have been or was at one time. But it's going to become something like what China is, or some third world country even, right? And it's like, okay, so you have the option. You can sit here and do nothing knowing that that's the imminent future that's ahead of us. Or we suffer the consequences now, whatever that may be, financial, whatever, to make the impact and make the point that, hey, remember, the government is paid for by the people that are sitting here pissed off about what the government is doing.
Yeah, because you're right. Otherwise, our grandchildren will have no idea. My little granddaughter running around my house right now will have no idea what the basis of America is.
Right.
There was.
We the people, for the people, by the people. And let me just say a couple of controversial things. It's none of anybody's business what people want to be sexually. If you want to be a woman, this is the place to come and to live to do that. There's nowhere else in the world where science has advanced to a point where you can literally change your sex organs around somehow. Okay.
Yeah.
There's literally the place in the world that gave you instant worldwide communication came from here. The people that created international flight and all of these cars and everything you see, it came from here, from people that are black, white, Hispanic, Italian, Greek. They're all different kinds of people that did it here.
That's right.
Nowhere else. Right. So the idea that this is a bad place or America's all evil, we do have evil people in charge, but the people, just everyday people, they're just good people. Confused maybe, but good people typically. And it's just a shame there is no huge voice out there trying to rally us together.
That's
It has
right.
nothing to do with your political belief or your religious belief. It's got to do with human belief.
That's right. Guys, if you will, real quick, sorry to interrupt. Open up your gifting to receive gifts for memberships that are being sent out right now. Clue just dropped 5 in her channel. So
We
you
have
won't be able to
JB
get
Hunter
them.
is in the house.
Who?
JB Hunter is in the house.
He called him Hunter. JB Hunter. That's his new name, though. It is now Hunter Hamburg.
Hunter or Hamburg. JB Hamburg is in the house.
And CR gifted one. Awesome. CR Sherlock Kendra was gifted that. Welcome to the sauce, Kendra.
And for my 5, welcome to the Clue Crew.
Yeah, I'm not doing that stuff. Welcome to the meatballs. Not gonna happen.
You almost said it last night.
Better. Yeah, I know. Last night was a whole different animal.
See, I think we should open a channel that organizes specific issues.
Maybe we should go in together and start our own channel together and just do it.
And it's going to hit politics, but not because we're trying to push a political agenda. It's an American agenda.
It'll be
Well,
advertised.
you can't talk about crime without talking about politics. I don't care what anybody says. Just like look at Idaho.
Look at that police chief in that video.
Right.
Bingo.
How about these governors that come out and tell you to arrest people that don't have on a mask?
Right.
They don't have the authority to do that.
Right.
As a matter of fact, what a lot of Americans don't know is that the Emergency Powers Act that was being fouled was unconstitutional because there were known therapeutic drugs for COVID. There were known therapeutics for that particular illness. And because there were known therapeutics, you could not take an Emergency Powers Act against the Republic. And they did anyway. And just because you didn't like those therapeutics, don't make it any different. The bottom line is you allowed a guy you hated for most of the population to do what he did. And then you run along with it like I don't understand that. You hate the guy, but the guy tells you take a pill, wear a mask, stay at home, don't go to work, and stay 6 feet apart, and you're okay with it. I found that a bit stunning that everybody ran with that. I refused to, and I'm sure some of you in here did too. Death is part of life, folks. I don't hasten its approach, but I don't fear it, and I think it's going to be an amazing experience when you finally transition from where we are to where we're going to go. I don't know what it is, but I don't fear it. But my point is, we all live in existence, and we all know the end of our existence. And during the time we're here, we should probably find more love for each other than cats and dogs.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Right? I
DC,
mean,
thank you for the Cash App. I got it. Thank you.
I think what we should do is start keeping a running total. Where if I say anything of value by adding my 2 cents, I owe 2 cents, and then after a short period of time, I'll donate it to the tip jar.
What did he just say? What did
Basically, he's gonna start paying for his time to talk.
Oh.
2 cents at a time.
Only 2 cents at a time. Only when his 2 cents are worth giving.
Oh my goodness, y'all.
That's the best statement made today, Jingles. We can't stand united if we stand divided. Period.
I'm about to be on the top tier of Amazon, even at 2 cents an opinion. Like you could,
yeah.
I believe Sarge.
be
Wait,
rich.
I'm lying. It ain't. I believe. I already know that you can talk all day. We do it already.
Fuck yeah.
Mhm.
So
Even when we're not here.
I can mumble through my sleep if need be, just to keep the conversation going.
I believe that.
It's
What?
because you
I
love me,
don't-
Dago, and I love
do
you
not
too, buddy.
swear. I don't swear like that. On my channel, I do. If I'm not if Dago and I aren't split streaming, I'm like a cute lady sailor, but I try to respect his crowd over there who don't like F-bombs and SOBs and everything. So and Sarge does it too. He's got a
Wow.
I didn't cuss until I met him.
Yeah,
That's a lie. That's a lie. I'm just kidding.
Did you see what Licity just said?
And I'm not getting a swear jar.
Their parents wouldn't use preferred pronouns.
What the hell?
Hold on.
See,
They
this is
took them from their home and put them in foster care because their parents wouldn't use preferred. Are you serious?
Well, I wish you would. I wish you would show up and tell me how I should and should not raise my child. I've been there once. It didn't end well for y'all. I'm just saying, please knock on my door. Well, I will say this. That's the crazy part. When it comes, like in America, there is only one agency. I'm not scared of the FBI. I'm not scared of the police, but there is one agency, and it's that one right there that terrifies me. And they're not good for children.
No.
CPS?
Yeah.
This is where the only thing that I am on a different opinion of with JB Hunter is I do believe that economic targeting is an extraordinarily powerful way to make changes. And it's the only way to do it non-violently. And where he points out, well, the leftists are cancel culture. I wouldn't use it as cancel culture because you don't call me a specific pronoun or you use the N-word 20 years ago, you should be destroyed. See, that I understand is inherently insane. However, corporations that are tied to the corruption should be targeted with our dollars by not giving it to them.
Sarge, let me give you this, okay? I will say this much for this situation that was just up there about the whole not or refusing to use pronouns. This is America, right?
Yeah.
You know, we have a certain thing called freedom of religion. If my religion, even as a parent, does not condone the actions of my child, you cannot persecute me for following my religion. So how in the actual, you know what, is something like that illegal?
There'll be a lawsuit. This will be
guys, we're paying more attention to people that are coming from other countries and observing their religions than our own. Okay?
Right.
That to me is bullshit. I'm sorry. When they started trying to take people away or taking the Pledge of Allegiance out of schools and doing this and allowing people to say that they don't like that. That offends them. Are you kidding me? Then go home. If you don't like what we do in our country, then go home. Okay? I'm sick of hearing that stuff. It blows my mind that we're going to sit here and bend things over and turn things around for people to observe their religion, but they can't observe ours. Bullshit. You can kiss my ass with that. I'm sorry.
Hold on real quick hold on, Sarge.
About Idaho.
Sarge,
let me off to no end.
Let me do this real quick. JB Gunner, welcome to the Clue Crew.
I think he deserves me too, doesn't he?
Megan, thank you for that, Megan. I think that was for me.
He does.
Let me give it to JB Hunter. JB Hunter, welcome to the Clue Crew.
I hope you know I'm going to soundbite that part. Let me give it to JB
Please
Hunter.
don't ever do that again. Exactly, Sarah. One nation under God. Where did that go?
Here's something else too, just so people here's the difficult hurdle to get over. Everything we're doing in here right now helps promote and push their propaganda because we're doing nothing about it but talking. And propaganda can only exist when it's talked about, either in the positive or negative. Mostly the negative argument for say you're against number 2 pencils, and there's an argument that's the best pencil in the world. By arguing against it, you're giving it airtime and attention. You're making that part of your reality. And so the difficult thing for us to try to overcome is knowing that just by discussing the immigration issue, we're actually helping the people that want to keep doing this. That's why I say solutions are the important issue. You need to go after the people that are in charge of making this happen and ignore the issue completely. So in other words, when now Disney came up last night, Disney is the most wonderful place for children for imagination. Does it have issues? Yes. But is it Disney itself, the institution? No. It's the people in charge. Those are the people you're supposed to engage and point out and discuss, not the act of them having pedophiles working at the park. That's a problem, obviously. However, the people that allow that are the ones we need to target. Then that issue goes away. You see? And nobody's telling us that. All we're doing is talking about the 360,000 kids that go missing. Well, how do we stop that? Well, let's dig into who the people in charge of our immigration system are. It's not just Joe Biden. There's a whole bunch of people.
How are they making immigration laws and they're not following them damn selves?
That's what I'm saying. Those are the people we need to make billboards out of. You see? Those are the people that need to be held to account. The board of directors at Disney, the board of directors at Intel. You don't necessarily have to destroy the company, but you do have to do what those people have earned. They earned your shun. They earned your contempt for allowing this stuff to enter our country. This is not who we are. And we need to show the contempt to the people that allow this to happen. Not the act itself. I'm telling you, that's the hard turn to make when it comes to understanding this.
Right.
So who's in charge of Disney? We need a list of their directors, their advertising departments, and all of their corporate snugs, right? Those are the people we need to look at. Is this person ever? Let's Ben verified all of them. Whatever software you got, find out who these people are. Find out where they came from. Find out what they're doing. Find out what their religion is or is not. Find out that we already know their opinion on life. You let pedophiles in a park work there. And just those are the people that need to be discussed, not the pedophile in the park. You understand?
Yep.
That's what we need to do. $0.02. You're owed.
Oh, Dago, I'm gonna need a quarter for that swear jar too.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You said BS, but
Oh,
bullshit.
okay.
So,
Well, here, I owe you $1 because I'm real fucking pissed off about all the bullshit that's been going on, and I'm fucking tired of it. So maybe
okay.
Okay.
I'll take 50 cents at a time. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
50 cents.
I'm
50.
beyond pissed about it. I want my damn country back. I want my American rights back.
Right.
And it's the people up at the top or the people in key positions. They don't even got to be at the top. Right? People have said this, but people have to consider this. Imagine charging an ex-president 491 felonies, and yet you haven't arrested a single person that was involved with Jeffrey Epstein, except for the person that you told us this woman was grooming young girls, underage girls, to come perform sexual acts. So we know that sexual acts are part of the problem with Epstein Island, right? And we know we have a list of high-ranking people, celebrities, politicians, bankers, that were at that island, right? None of them are charged. How could that be? Yeah, you could charge this president for some loan that he went for on a property that that's how corrupt the system is. And I won't even vote for Trump. People want to know the truth. I won't vote for anybody ever again. I don't trust any of them. They're all corrupt. And if they're not corrupt, they're too stupid to fix the corruption.
I don't even believe that it's what it is anymore at this point. I think they're just put in place by the government themselves, and they're just put there to look good. End of story. They do what they want to do, regardless of who says what. That's how I see it.
Here's the message that they're sending. Here's the message. The message is, you can't touch us, but anything you like, anything you think is good, we can destroy. It doesn't matter if it's an ex-president or if it's Disney World. And as a matter of fact, we're going to get you to help us destroy it. And that's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
We need to break that cycle.
Enough is enough, period.
That's right.
Enough is enough, guys.
We're doing it to ourselves through inaction and outrage, right?
1,000,001%, folks. 1,000,001.
It's tragic, man, because man, this is crazy. As far as we know, we're the only species of our kind and our known knowledge and all the knowledge we've amassed. We're the only thing like this that exists. And look at how we're treated and how we're behaved and manipulated. It's tragic, man.
I mean, at this point, they might as well just hand everybody a loaded gun and say, do your thing. Because that's what they're doing right now. Okay? And that's what we're doing. In a sense, that's exactly what's happening.
You can't pray for the government to make the right choices. Sometimes you have to realize that we are the government. When do we make the right choice for the country? Your choice isn't limited to who you voted for. That's something Americans need to get drilled into their head like a jackhammer pounds in the pavement. You and I are the government.
It wouldn't exist if it weren't for us. Neither would this country. Why have we allowed it to get to this point?
We were trying to avoid this when we formed this nation. We didn't want monarchs, kings, or queens dictating what was wrong and
exactly
axing us and doing what they want with the money. What about us? It's our money, man. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I do like that you've left up there for such a long time. J.B. Gunner's statement, he's not wrong.
Yeah. Along with me telling him he needs to quit telling you that.
JB, you do what you got to do, buddy.
Your head is already big enough. Like,
ask Colleen, she'll tell you.
Oh, I totally digress on what I was talking about.
Thank you, because it was going to
Dago,
quickly.
Dago,
yes,
get your friend. Get your friend.
Who? What? I ain't got no.
Remember, let me just say this. Remember, Dago got me into this too. I'm here because of Dago. Of all the many people he's dragged in, I think I'm like one of the last survivors of it all. His kindness brought you Sarge.
You have some good points.
Who?
Sarge.
His kindness brought you Sarge, so you guys should thank him.
Some good points. Some.
I don't pay taxes. I have not filed taxes since 2013. No lie. It's not a joke.
Well, you don't work. No lie. No
first off, sir.
Oh God, I'm backing out of that one.
I don't work right now, but don't you need to understand I have put in my time and I have made dough. And no, I haven't filed taxes. And I just stopped working in 2018. So yeah, I hadn't filed my taxes. I'm not about to give y'all my money. Because you ain't doing nothing for me.
Margaritas at the Tiki Bar already for JB.
I know. He just left, didn't he? Listening, he was like, whatever.
Yeah, I pay taxes. I've got. Yeah, here's the other problem too, and it's unavoidable. When you do have more than just a few dollars, you got to have a place to put it, right? So I spread mine out across 5 different institutions, but you just can't have that in your house. So you're always susceptible to some kind of hack or institutional failure or government intervention, So there is always, I don't worry about it, but I mean, in all reality, that is It is what it is. What are you supposed to do? You know, you can't paper your walls with it. You can't stick it under your bed. You have a big ass hump in it. How do you sleep on that? So, you know, there's, and here's what I say. All of that stuff is fantastic. All of our concepts and institution are logically sensible. They're just so mismanaged and for the reasons of which make no damn sense. Why wouldn't you want to make this the brightest, shiniest, happiest, loving country on earth? I can't imagine any reason that could make sense of that, not wanting to have it that way.
Heather, I'm going to let that one slide because I'm in a good mood. It's Friday, but I'm just saying.
That was
Rude.
good. Heather.
I'm on Heather's team today. Thank you, Heather.
That was good. Sorry. I love your Clue, but that was good.
Mm-hmm. Y'all are mean. I don't even know why I'm here.
And
Oh
you're
my God. Okay. There you
We're
go.
going to call you Mother Bambi Teresa.
Bambinati.
You're funny.
Bambarisa. That's her name. Mother Bambarisa. My God.
That's a good point, Carolyn. Nobody's life is perfect, but we don't make it any better at this point. I mean, it's our house, guys. It's like your own home. You make the rules in your home. You enforce the rules in your home. You have, you know, when people come to your home, they take their shoes off at the door. I'm just saying is a thing, okay? They respect you in your home. You know, they ask you to use the bathroom in your home. They don't go into your refrigerator and take things without asking you. They don't walk through your home and take whatever they want and act however they want. This country is our home. This is our home.
I've done that at friends' houses. I've done that in friends' houses just to see the kind of reaction you get.
Well, you know the point that I'm making, though. It's the same.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I do.
Period. This is our home. We have to clean it up and lock the doors, folks.
In one case, my buddy's wife is saying, and she didn't think I heard her. What is your friend doing? Does he think he fucking lives here? I went over to the refrigerator, looked at it, I grabbed a pack of cold cuts, looking around for bread. That's the first thing I did when I went into their house, just to see how they would react. And they were like dumbfounded. Like, what are you doing? Well, I was hungry. And then I laughed and said, I'm just messing with you.
You really may wind up in a river one day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't swim with the fishes. Make sure you're not one of them that do, okay?
Uh-huh.
What size shoe do you wear, Sarge?
11.
What?
I wear size 11. Yeah.
That way we'll know what size concrete shoes you'll be fitted with.
Dang.
I was like, that is the most random question.
But he's got to struggle with that because I heard shit floats. So I don't know if the concrete can hold me down.
That's possible. Very possible.
Dago's trying to kill me.
Take care, Felicity. Thank you for jumping in today, hon. Appreciate you very much.
Help, police.
Really?
Okay. What's the number to 911?
Where are you going to sell your gold bars after the... Yeah,
that's the other thing, too. I don't want to get in that. But owning gold and silver is great, but I don't know if you can go buy a rump roast with it. How are you going to transact that at a store?
It ain't worth nothing anymore.
And then once people get the idea that you've got that, if you do, let's say things crashed, and you do have that reserve to go use to trade for goods, then you're not going to survive long. Right?
No, not at all.
No, the grocer might follow you home and take you out.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the system we have is fine. The American dollar being the world currency, people don't even appreciate how important that is to this nation. Sadly, we're managed by a bunch of corrupt losers.
That's why they're trying to get rid of all that.
Yeah.
Angel.
He's not a tall man.
We need a cashless society. Sure we do.
All that in concept isn't a problem. It's the problem, really, folks, is the people that manage it that we're afraid of. It's not
right.
I'm not afraid of using plastic without having a dollar bill. I'm not afraid of that at all. But what I'm afraid of are the people that can make it a problem for me, they're willing to make it a problem for me because they can. That's our problem.
And that's the thing. Who just said that? I just saw it. Skinny said it. We don't have time to wait. No, we don't. We've waited too long.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. We waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, and now we're here.
Here we are.
There's no more waiting, folks. And this is with everything, you guys. This was just said the other day. When we're looking into the cases that we look into, because we're true crime, quote unquote, okay? Not just with what we're just talking about today, but even with what's going on with our children being murdered and this and that and everything. We're the only ones that can change any of this. They're not going to do it. The people that are doing this aren't going to change it. They're having the time of their lives. Who else is going to do it? People aren't kind of coming in from other countries and change it. Again, it's only going to be us.
Right.
And we can't be afraid of that anymore. We can't fear that anymore.
We need to build up a voice that then, for instance, Clue put a petition out. And that petition is a form of action that we can take.
Right.
Whether it bears fruit or not isn't the point. How many people signed up for that petition, Clue? Guess.
33.
33. And on average, every one of your clips get between 1,500 and 25,000 views. And you got 35 people as part of a petition that even if it goes nowhere, should be signed by everybody.
And for those of you that don't know, the petition is to open up a case that has had no justice on it. Somebody murdered his girlfriend and got away with it and is still walking free. And the police know he did it. He knows he did it. And it's closed. It's closed. He's living his life while his girlfriend's dead.
Look.
What the actual fuck are we talking about here, guys? And it's like, excuse me again. Sorry about that. Yeah, I owe you more money, I know. So the point is we have to take charge of these things while we can.
If doing something is a problem for us, then none of these conversations have any reason to exist. We should just go along with it, accept it as it is, and play the game as it's laid out.
I need the link for that, by the way, Clue.
What?
That petition link.
Look at this guy's all over the place. I think he gained weight since last night.
I did.
That Yingling is all full calorie, thick stuff.
That's right. It's margaritas today.
You know, it's funny that Heather was talking about cell phones going down, because wasn't that the topic on your live, JB?
Yeah.
That's what it was all about. Yeah.
Yeah. It's now they're saying that there was basically an attack on the healthcare system, which is even more dangerous than the attack on the phone. I'm not sure what to believe, but every single time this happens, they're not going to come out and tell us it was a cyber attack from like Russia, China, unless they want to go to war with Russia or China.
That's it.
Or North Korea. North Korea got Sony, if you remember. And
it's affected everything, because my son's home from school today because his internet is not up at school and they can't do schoolwork. It's school. So if it's affecting healthcare, it's affecting cell phones, it's affecting the pharmacies, it's affecting everything, and they're just standing there going, okay, it's fine, no big deal, guys. Calm down. Tired of hearing it.
Absolutely. The truth of this is once we eventually, I think we're already in World War III now, but once we once it becomes a hot war, all this shit's going to be shut down anyway.
Right.
I don't believe we'll have the ability to communicate at all. So.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
He's exactly right, you guys. If you back up and think about it, they brought cell phones out. They basically forced us to eliminate landline telephones from our lives, okay, by giving us these cell phones and all these other options and you don't need this, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this, but you don't need this. Therefore, the communication lines are down. If we don't have cell phones, what do we have? Nothing. Most people don't have landlines anymore. I mean,
let them turn this into become a big giant propaganda platform for them. In the end, this is probably the most important invention ever, and better than the pyramids, better than anything man has constructed, is the ability to instantly communicate worldwide with everyone. Every one of us can do it, right? There's no single better, bigger, more accomplished thing mankind has ever accomplished than that. And they've used it against us rather than us using it amongst ourselves to make it something productive.
The biggest example, and to be honest, of what they can possibly do, if you look at they hinted at it with the vaccine. Basically, what I'm saying, they tried to shut down any dissent of. All right, basically everybody that was anti-jab, they tried to pretty much censor it and shut it down. So I believe that once this war takes place, or once we go into a hot situation, whether it be civil war, world war, basically I think they will shut everything down just to prevent any dissent.
Yeah, I agree.
So someone like me that's pro-Russia, and I am. I think that NATO violated the treaty, not Russia.
They did.
They do.
And so someone like me, I've seen them take my videos down for being pro-Russia. And the same thing will happen with Israel and Palestine. I'm against both. I'm against all foreign entanglements. I don't want to fund them shit. And so if you're not pro-Israel, if you're not and by the way, I'm not pro-Hamas or Palestinians either. But if you're not pro-Ukraine, they will try to shut down that opinion. And I think that once we get to a hotter level, what they'll do, instead of just go after people individually, they'll just shut down the whole grid.
Right.
And when they do that, we're done. We're screwed, guys.
100%.
We have been pushed to the point where
but let me just say though, we're
technology, and that's the end of it. If they shut that down, if we're not prepared, we're done.
So let's get away from the calamity of what can happen, and what can we do before it happens. That's what we need to focus our strengths and attentions on.
Create community,
Exactly.
Basically
create solutions that people can get behind. And listen, I'll tell you right now, if 10 million people refuse to pay their mortgage next month, there wouldn't be 10 million evictions. I promise you that.
No,
it would be impossible.
Everybody needs to see it for what it is first and foremost. Period.
Yeah.
Everybody's eyes need open to see it, what it is, what's going on, what's been going on, and why. And then once you recognize it, that's when, because we all know that this country can commune and become a community when it needs to. When 9/11 happened, everybody came together like nothing. Okay, it happens. Right. So you see it. Local disasters happen. We see it every which way we go. So it's known that it can happen if it needs to happen. And the point is making it happen.
Yeah, so we should organize a channel of some sort and set up the panel and see what we can do to bring people in for solutions instead of just rehashing all the chaos we're aware of. How do we target that chaos to correct it?
And I do agree. Like, I think prepping, I think people make a lot of fun of people that prep, but I mean, you best believe, like Fiance and I, we got 25-pound bags of rice, salt, etc., just on the off chance that we're on our own. You know what I mean?
Right. And you people, folks don't even realize that your government is becoming a self-generating revenue. They're self-generating their own revenues to the point where they do not need us. Right? Those that they're in cahoots with will just lend them more money. We're becoming more and more irrelevant every day with the way these processes have been turned on us. We are essentially, in my opinion, conquered. Right? We, the people, have no voice. Unless our voice is to continue to bring harm to us, unless you're on board with that because you're too ignorant to see that harm, then you have no voice.
I agree. I think we are conquered. And this is why, on my end, I believe more in creating. On my end, I feel like what I try to tell my people is because we have to disconnect from the system, essentially. And I know you may not agree with that necessarily because there's some people that believe this thing can be fixed. I don't. I believe that civil war is the only way to fix what we're currently dealing with. We basically have to destroy America to rebuild it. Because under the current situation, a lot of us people with more older and conservative and patriotic beliefs, we're all going to die off. They're currently, what they're doing with our children is a complete set of brainwashing. And so ultimately our kids are not necessarily going to be the answer. I believe that we have to break off and create small communities, almost almost cult style. I know that's a word that people have demonized, but I think with just little small communities, almost like the Amish, that has broken away from society, I think is the answer. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with that, but I can't see any other possibility other than just all-out war.
Well, so I got to disagree with you on that one, right? I think the dividing into small communities is what got us here.
Well-
It truly is. It's contributing to the problem, right? And I understand your point of view, and I think that is one outcome, and I think it is the difference between saying that we're done, there is no repairing it, versus it's not a complete destruction. It's like walking into a business that's completely almost ready to shut the doors and saying, what do we got to do to fix it? But in order to do that, it takes somebody with a nutsack and a backbone big enough to tell the people that need to hear what they need to hear, when they need to hear it, and make it happen. And that's what Americans have if we'll come together and not divide into little communities based on our differences of opinion and things like that. If we all agree that things are broke and we can find solutions, I think it can be fixed all day.
Well, here's the thing: is let's look at some of the key issues. This is why I don't think the division can be fixed. How much longer? All right, let's say you're someone that believes abortion is murder, like myself. How much longer do you sit and watch your fellow Americans murder babies before you finally defend the babies? Let's just say you're a liberal and you think I'm a Nazi or a racist or whatever. How much longer are you going to let me be racist before you do something about it? Do you see my point is that, in my opinion, the differences come to the almost people's core values. You know what I mean? And so I believe white people are being replaced. You believe multiculturalism is okay. How much longer can we be in the same country together before people like me are tired of being replaced and decide we're going to do something about it? And how much longer are you going to watch liberals kill babies until you do something about it? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, at some point, it's going to blow up. The lid's going to blow. And
well, I agree with you. If there's no voice or reason with directions for solutions, then it always ends up the worst case scenario. But we're not there yet. Right. And the point that I started making, Dago will tell you this, when I first came around, this was the whole reason I came back after I got out of politics, was because there needs to be a voice that offers solutions that are nonviolent but effective. And if you can start a system that works that way, then you could turn this ship around. We share more in common with people that even believe in abortion than we share not in common. And those are the points that we never are able to discuss among ourselves. We've been trained to focus only on our differences. And I'm telling you, our commonality outweighs our differences in a magnitude of 1 billion. And there's nobody bringing that up.
You're not wrong. But let me ask you this. If you walked outside your house right now and you saw Adam Montgomery punching Harmony Montgomery in the face until she's dead, what would you do to Adam Montgomery as a man? What would you do in that very moment?
I would shoot him.
I would do the right thing.
He's done.
Exactly. So why is it any different? If you believe, I'm just saying, if you're a believer that abortion is murder, why is it any different knowing that the doctors or the woman is doing the exact same thing that Adam Montgomery is doing? At what point do people say, all right, I'm not going to let this doctor or this woman do to these babies what Adam did to harm?
Then you're talking about the full. You're talking about a surrender, a personal surrender to the idea that this is a nation of laws, right? And we need to preserve that and bring it back to being a nation of laws that are equally applied. It shouldn't have taken 1.5 years to charge Alec Baldwin with a crime. Yet you charge the armorer, a regular 8 to 5 worker. They get charged with the crime, and you don't. You pulled the damn trigger. We need to get to a point where someone that's involved with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell are charged. I don't care who they are.
Agreed.
Right? And in order for us to do that, do we have to wait to the last moment and the guns got to come out? Or can we do something now with this amazing ability to communicate? And I think we can. Right?
I envy your optimism. I definitely do, brother.
Good point.
I'm more pessimistic.
Is this go ahead.
I'm going to say you need both of those people in the same room. The pessimists and the optimists are the ones that'll solve the issue, right?
Very
Yeah,
You
possible.
can't have just the optimist in there. The optimist will walk you off a cliff in good faith, not knowing he's walking you off a cliff. The pessimist will say, "Hey, asshole, stop walking. You're going to fall."
Did this just drop, Clue?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up on here.
I see it up here on both screens. Is it three
Yeah, I just
people?
I don't see it on this screen.
They got
On your
3 people.
Clueminati screen, it's still rolling.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, they're talking about a news article that just dropped.
Sorry, y'all.
Oh, you're okay.
How you doing, woman?
I have no idea right now. I don't know why. I can't.
You have something else up there? You have something else up there already that you got to shut down first?
I don't think so.
The bottom doesn't say sharing or anything.
Let me find. Hold on. Yeah, like I see it on StreamYard. I don't see it on the other platform. Is the problem?
You know, I'm going to just suggest something to you that's kind of shocking, but it's conversations like this where people with uncommon or even in common backgrounds, something amazing could be built from it. Okay? Whether it be a car industry, whether it be an internet or an airplane, or it be an idea to save a nation. All of that starts with conversation from just a very few people that then take action. That's what needs to happen here.
I said I think it'd be a good idea. We all have separate channels. Or well, you're starting one, Stars, but if we all were to go together and start one channel together that we all run off of and do this on a regular on one channel, I think it would be amazing.
I think we ought to start with a channel where we're offering solutions. Let's start with that crime in Florida. We could do both. It doesn't have to just be something with political problems. It can be. How about if we send letters to the state where that cop was drunk and he attacked another cop? How we want him removed?
Right.
Discipline needs to be upheld, and it needs to be upheld fairly. For what happens to a guy at Walmart should happen to a policeman. There should be no difference. We're both Americans.
You got to start small and grow from there.
Right, and just start working our way up and get people to sign these petitions and start doing something that's solution based, and let people, like, when I do open a channel, whatever money that channel makes, I'm going to share with my mods, and my mods, I'm going to ask my mods to provide material and solutions for discussion. I don't want any of the money. I don't need the money. So I'm in a different situation than most people, and I'm not claiming I'm rich, but I'm set. Okay. And I would encourage people to get involved. Hopefully, maybe the donations would inspire people that are doing nothing to get up and do something.
You good, Blue?
Yeah. Are you guys ready to watch this, or?
Yeah, you got some kind of background noise coming from somewhere.
It's JB. I'm gonna mute
Hold
him.
on, let me.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah. All right.
Extremely difficult time for students and staff across 2 college campuses in Athens. I'm Rick Fulbaum along with Lana Harris, and right now at noon, shockwaves and canceled classes at the University of Georgia and at Augusta University in Athens after the discovery of an Augusta nursing student killed on the campus of UGA.
Now, just this morning, this is breaking news. The victim has been identified as Laken Hope Riley. She was 22 years old and had previously been a student at UGA. Now, there are a lot of concerned families from 2 schools now looking for some answers here, as whoever killed this student on this campus is still out there, and police haven't released a motive as to why this student was attacked.
Just thinking, this happened on my campus. That could have been me.
We have team coverage in Athens right now at noon, a very active police scene just south of the university's campus and the place where that woman was found dead. Atlanta News First Rebecca Schramm is the only reporter at that scene right now. And Rebecca, do we know if this is connected?
We don't know for sure, Rick, but I want to show you what we're seeing here. I'm on South Millage Avenue, and first of all, look at that. You're seeing the Mobile Command Center. This is an apartment complex called Argo Apartments. And look at the police presence. This is exclusive. We're the only news crew out here during this noon hour. First things first, you saw that Mobile Command Center that belongs to the Athens-Clarke County Police Department. Now look over here. Officers are here from several jurisdictions. Athens-Clarke County, the University of Georgia Police Department, the GBI. Now, I want to make it clear here at noon, we do not have confirmation that this is related to the murder of Laken Riley. But here's what you need to know. Right behind this apartment complex is the forested area with the walking trails near Lake Herrick where her body was found. Now, about 40 minutes ago, we saw police take a man into custody. They had him handcuffed and they put him in the back of a patrol car. And within the last few minutes, 2 other men were taken into custody as well. So that's 3 people under arrest for what could possibly be related to the murder. Now I want to give you some background on Laken Riley. She was 22 years old. She was a nursing student at Augusta University. She is from Cherokee County, from the Woodstock area. She came to Athens as a University of Georgia student where she was in the Alpha Chi Omega sorority, we have confirmed, before transferring to the Athens campus of Augusta University for nursing school. A friend called police yesterday, according to officers, and they reported that she hadn't come back from a jog near the intramural fields, which we know are right next to that lake, and to the walking trails where her body was found. You're seeing video there from a memorial service, sort of a vigil that they held last night. And back here live, just to show you again, this is an enormous scene. A few officers have already left now that 3 people have been taken into custody. And again, authorities are not confirming that this is related to the murder, but all the agencies involved in the murder investigation are here. And we also spotted the University of Georgia police chief here. So we're going to continue to ask questions about what has happened here at the Argo Apartments. And as soon as we learn more information, you'll be the first to know. Live in Athens, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
It has been.
Wow.
That's crazy.
3 people. 3 people. It makes you wonder, like, what the hell?
And people tied to sorority again.
Mm-hmm.
What is it with sororities and these young women being?
So she's in a sorority?
Yeah, she was.
Did they say the other 2? The first one was a male that they said was arrested. Did they say the other 2 were? They're all 3 males?
It didn't say, did it?
That's what I was wondering. Because
yeah, it did say 3 males.
Okay, that's
3
what
males. And I gotta ask, are they fraternity brothers?
We don't know. We know she was in a sorority, though.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
I know my kid will not be joining one of those.
Nope.
Like, I don't care if you want to or not.
Nope.
Yeah,
Sorry, not sorry.
The GBI is on this. Now, earlier.
Hold on. Someone said yes, Alpha Chi Omega.
Yes.
Alpha Chi. I always say that. Chi. Chi.
It's Chi. Yeah. Is that the males or the female, JB?
That's a male, isn't it? Alpha Chi Omega.
Chi.
That's a male. Hold on.
I have no clue, man. I have no clue which one it is.
Alpha Chi Omega University of Georgia. Let's see.
It'll tell us either way. It should.
Oh, a sorority. So that's what she was in.
I'm curious to know if these 3 arrested were frat brothers. It seems to be there's a lot of this Greek stuff that's happening lately, and you know what I'm saying? Like, is this a somebody made somebody mad? Somebody did something.
You know, can I say this would be a good issue to target because it is non-political, in as much as keeping track or getting a list of all the people that have passed away on college campuses or are college students, regardless of the way they passed. Getting that total number.
Right.
And making people realize just how dangerous it is to send your kids to college and then break down the kind of chaos and drugs and things that surround our children when they go to school. The idea there isn't sex trafficking and drug trades targeting our higher institutions is just, you got to be numb in the head not to realize that. But most people don't realize that, right? That's one of the reasons I think Idaho 4 has been kept so quiet. They don't want the public to realize just the kind of threat that your child might be walking into, and they're just going there. This girl wants to be a nurse to help people, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
She shouldn't go into anywhere where there's where all of these alcohol and drug related and murders and rapes. Who the hell wants to combat that just to get an education to help others? I'd rather stay at home.
Exactly.
Well, if you look at it, a lot of these small towns, like even Moscow, their entire economy is based on these schools. I believe wholeheartedly the reason that the Idaho 4 situation is so screwed up and so secretive has a lot to do with ultimately the fact that they don't want any bad reputation because the economy would be destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's a conspiracy no matter how you look at it.
If that school is affected, it affects the whole town. Period.
Well, that's why I say 100%. If anybody from the sorority or the fraternities were involved, it would never come out. They wouldn't tell us.
Of course not.
Yeah, and that so bringing attention to that would be a good place to start because it isn't technically political, even though it is. Right? And I think parents in America should realize that there is a statistic that shows your child is safer going to a hot war than going to college.
Yeah.
You go into a shooting war and you have less people perish during that conflict than you do for the same period of time your kids are in school. That don't even make no sense.
And that's true. And these sororities and fraternities are running these colleges, guys. If you look into the things they do, they're running these schools.
Well, you gotta look at something. For a lot of college kids, the first dose of freedom away from like parental guidance is college. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's basically the blind leading the blind there. Then you have, I mean, basically they're on their own. And what's the difference? You know, I don't trust my kid at 17 anymore. I'm not going to trust them at 18 anymore than I will at 17. They're going to pretty much make the same mistakes. So it's a hotbed of just immature bullshit with nobody really guiding or protecting them at all. I don't trust any colleges to do what's best for the kids. They've proven over and over again that's not what they do.
Right, and they're taking these kids. They're giving these fraternities and sororities to them, and they're teaching them right out of the gate. Their first experience as an adult out in life is to get involved in a group of people that keeps everything a secret in life. That's not what we should be teaching our kids, guys. Okay.
JB says it's like the opposite. They had more oversight. I felt like in school, I had more rules than non-Greek friends, which if you read about it, they are supposed to do certain things. They're supposed to be present at certain events.
Right. But
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Back in the day when we were there, okay? It's changed now, though. They've taken that power and done what most everybody does when they get that kind of power, and they've turned it into something dark. Okay,
like some secret society bullshit.
Yeah, and it's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be that way. I have friends that I do know what I'm talking about, JB. Okay, I have friends that are involved that were involved in fraternities back in the day. I used to go party with them all the time. It's different now than it was then when you look at it and see the way that things are handled. I'm sorry. People can argue with me all day. I don't care. I've seen it and I see it. Okay, just saying. And you don't have to agree with me. That's
well, I will say this much. You would expect there to be a little bit of change in any organization with time, because look at, all right, back in the day, right? I remember my mom and dad were like, no, mini hoe in training, you're not wearing makeup before you get 16. I watch TikToks all the time. 10-year-old, 11-year-old look like she's grown because of the makeup on her face. So you have to kind of imagine that everything in life and our society changes the longer it progresses. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, I'm the only one. Got it.
I agree. I understand what you're saying.
I understand. But it all starts with the guidance, man. And I'm gonna be honest. You know, the way the world's changed and the way things are becoming acceptable. Sorry about that noise, by the way. I'm at the pool. The way the noise, I mean, the way the guidance is today, like the thought, I personally would have never allowed, like, my daughter to wear makeup at any age. Just because, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just because I'm a guy. But to me, like, I didn't allow my kids to have boyfriends or girlfriends, nothing like that. I wanted them to focus on school. Now, I'm a little bit more controlling and dominant than other people. I'm a little bit, you know, but I think that's like my job. And so to send them to a place where all that control, all of that guidance is now gone, and they're free to do whatever they want. A lot of times, what I noticed personally, because I had a daughter that went to college, essentially everything I had taught her entire life disappeared in a matter of minutes, a matter of a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know, man. I think the entire college experience is destructive.
I think it's a danger because these drug cartels know exactly who their clientele are, right? Those young
100%.
kids that haven't made decisions, that don't have any experience in life, they're friends, they get peer pressure, they get involved with people they don't know from different states. You don't know who you're hanging out with.
Well, and that's the thing, is that over the past 20 years, society has changed so much, and there's so much more available to these kids now that we didn't have back then, that has made it all different. Okay, you know, and that's why it's different now, and people are looking at it like we can say it was a great experience when we went there because we didn't have to deal with the things that they're dealing with right now. We don't have the things, you know, and I'm not going in and speaking on anybody in particular, but, you know, only fans and these things and those things and all that stuff that's out there now. We didn't have that kind of stuff in college.
No.
Okay.
It's a sexualization of your children, what they're doing.
Exactly. And it's turned things into something that it shouldn't be. That's all I'm saying.
When I was in college, the only thing we had was You've Got Mail. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have, and so the whole AOL chat rooms was just starting back then, and you can see even with that the danger of the internet and social media, and just everything changed. And once again, then ultimately, kids today, they go with all of these. They go to college. They end up in these frats. They end up basically being guided by a bunch of other young idiots. And then, not to mention, they log in and they get on the internet, and there's just more young idiots guiding them. And essentially what it does is it disconnects their ability, it disconnects them and their parents. And I've always thought the internet does that. I don't allow my children to have phones, internet, none of it. Your job is to listen to me and go make good grades, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's changed. That's changed so much. So much.
Well, and the kids have changed too. Like, I mean, I know back in the day when your parents told you something, that was the law, son. Like if you wanted to start a fight and go against it, go ahead. And you knew that you would be disciplined. However, your parents chose to discipline you, that was that. But
we talked about that before.
Right. And today you can't tell these kids nothing.
There's no fear of authority. There's no fear of consequence. Nothing. They know that we can only do so much before it becomes a legal issue. And they know that even the law can't do so much because of the way things have turned out now. And that's why they take advantage of that situation and they do what they want to do.
It's not all kids, but there's a great number of kids that do that, and they lead people astray, and you end up with all this crime and chaos on these campuses that doesn't belong.
Right.
They're learning institutions, and that doesn't, you know, that's the other thing. You shouldn't be teaching my child anything about life. You should be teaching them science, math, astronomy, whatever, architecture, whatever. That's your job. Your job isn't to teach my kid about sexuality. It's to teach my kid about emotions or what to believe. That's not your job. Your job is knowledge, and knowledge isn't religious, and knowledge isn't moral. It's knowledge. And that's we've been too trusting, and we've allowed these different institutions to help us raise our kids, and now look what we face.
Right. I mean, I remember being in when I was in school, elementary up through high school, on and off. We still kind of learned about the thought and basis of God in some senses. Okay. That's gone. That's gone. My oldest, my older kids that are in their 20s and 30s now, that they took that out of the schools completely. My kids started coming home talking about the Big Bang Theory and this and that, and they don't believe in God and this and that anymore. It's like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, that's what the curriculum is with the schools anymore. No matter what we tell them, they go with what they're learning. They're smart kids.
So, you know what's funny is both of those topics can exist in the same place in the same world among different people and not oppose one another. In other words, the Big Bang can exist without you opposing or denigrating people with a religion.
Yes.
Religion can exist without degenerating or degrading the people that believe in a Big Bang. You understand? That's the dividing line that nobody's being educated about. Both can be.
The reality of this is I believe that we teach we send our kids to school to get facts. I mean, what is perceived facts? I don't want you teaching my kids any of your beliefs, either way. And that includes religion, but that also includes anti-religion. You see what I'm saying? Like,
that's right.
I believe
that's not their job.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care about all this. I don't want you teaching my kids any of these social cues, anything like that. Let me teach my children this. You're supposed to teach my children the science and the actual facts.
The basics.
Yes, you go ahead and teach them about the two genders. If I decide I want to teach them to be goofy and have 186 genders, let me do that. It's not your job. You see what I mean?
100%. Like that's how I feel.
I agree.
And don't talk about religion.
That is not their place. That's our place as a family core. Okay, we teach that to our children.
If the only thing you're going to say about religion is it's not there, it's not real, it's whatever, it's conceived by some fake person, then don't even talk about that. I'll teach that myself.
Don't talk about it at all. And what there's a lot of people, especially on my side, being a conservative, that believe religion should be taught in school. And I said, no. Let me tell you why not. What makes you think it's going to be your religion taught in school? So what I mean is the belief that religion should be taught in school. What happens when it's Islam taught in school? What happens when it's Judaism taught in school? The belief that automatically it's going to be Christianity or your version of Christianity that's going to be taught is a ignorant, ridiculous thought. So the best thing to do is just keep it all out of the school and let the parents and community and family handle that.
Yes, thank you. And they don't give the kids a choice. They have to learn this because that's what's being taught to them. And that's our job to give them that choice if they choose that. I agree. It should be taught by the family core anyway, not a stranger that doesn't know it's not part of your family, period.
Can I ask you, what do you guys think about? I'm sorry.
Starch. I gotta pee, so I'll be right back.
Will you take the phone with you?
Go, JB.
All right, I'll stop.
He wanted to hear the bidet working.
That's right. No. I forgot about the bidet.
The bidet.
I got to get one of those now.
You should have. If you were in here a while ago, we've come up with some very crazy stuff. Even aside from the hamburger. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
No, I know I have not watched football since Kaepernick.
Yeah, see, I won't let someone like that ruin what I find to be an American institution.
No, I don't blame you there. Initially it started. Well, I told you yesterday I don't believe in boycott. But what happened is I initially did boycott it, and then even when I changed my mind on boycotting, I'd just been away so long, and I used to sports gamble. I used to know the roster head to toe for every team. But once you lose that, you kind of lose your desire to watch it. And so
here's what I was going to point out. We were in here one day just talking smack on some stream. It had no topic, and I yelled out the D, right? And then everybody started yelling that out. And then when the Super Bowl was being played, the quarterback for San Francisco was going 18-24. Watch the D, and it was like. Did he listen to this stream to come up with that watch the D bullshit or what? And he said that every time he was catching the huddle. So it was like just mind blowing.
That's fun.
So I watch the big games in football. I always have. I've never watched them play week by week. I never did that anyway.
I did watch the end of the Super Bowl. because I still follow all statistics like on my phone, just in case I ever decide to get back into sports gambling. So when I saw how close it was, I did click in to the very end to see what was going on. Which it brings up another topic. Why? Serious question. If you watch Super Bowls, why the hell are Super Bowls all of a sudden so competitive? My entire life growing up, it would be like 55-10. I think that was the Bears in '85 or some shit like that. But you see what my point is? It would be like Super Bowls were always blowouts. Part of me feels like there's some sort of an agenda to keep it more competitive. That's just the conspiracy theorist for me. So why? Just your thoughts. Why are the games so competitive now when our whole lives it wasn't?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And that's probably programmed into the system so people stay on the edge of their seats and want to watch close games because those are the best games. You got to admit it, right?
Yeah. That's the point. Is that something has clicked, something has changed, yeah. I feel like Vince McMahon's running the NFL now.
I gotta ask you a question. So if you go into a bathroom as an Irishman, what are you once you get in the bathroom?
European.
European.
There you go. That's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
Blue, are you done being European? Are you back to your southern roots?
I'm here.
There you go.
I've been here. I heard about the Super Bowl more competitive, and I do agree. Like, it used to be a time when the Super Bowl, like, you were lucky if the Dallas Cowboys hit like 13.
Money. It's money. People are making money off these games now, so they got to make it good.
Gambling
and
is
the
legal?
shows, like, I gotta say too, the halftime shows, like, it used to be like one lonely person up on stage. You might get Toby Keith or something. One person. Michael Jackson had a pretty good show, but now it is like we got people hanging from rafters, and
it's an entertainment thing now. It's all about entertainment and money. Period.
Absolutely.
But where were we at? You were going to say something, Sarge, before she had to become European.
No, nothing that I probably haven't said before. It's fine. It's Cluey and Dago show.
I can't remember.
I'm just an honored to be here, guest.
No, I feel that has become an issue, though. That's just an honor. And you know what's funny to me is they don't even ask us as parents or bring it to us. They just do it. They don't say, "Hey, are you okay?" You know, they've never had to do that in the past. I understand that, but this is a different thing now, guys, because it goes back to what Clue was saying: is that there's no fear of consequence, there's no fear of authority, and there's definitely no fear of God anymore. Because people used to have the fear of God in them when we were younger. You know, even before me, that if you do this and you become this type of person, you know, and I think it kept people in line in some sense. If you fuck up your whole life, you're going to hell. End of story. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a fact, guys.
What did we say, right? There's no fear of authority. God, for us growing up, was an authority.
Yes. Very much so. Very much so. Even if you're not a religious person, guys, it is a basis that we were all raised on. Our parents were raised on. Our grandparents
You can't disagree with the 10 Commandments, no matter what you believe. Get that it was written by a religious man. Just take them for the words that are spoken and tell me how they're unreasonable. And you just can't do that. Now you can attack Moses and Judaism, and that ain't got nothing to do with it. Don't those words hold the key to life?
Yeah, that's the thing. God is the only one I do fear, and that's the one that they don't fear at all.
Well, see, I think it all started. What she just said, what Clue just said a second ago about no one fearing authority anymore. I think a lot of that started at the home. Started in the home. Basically, anytime there's a discipline when it comes to children, everyone automatically jumps and says it's abuse. Sorry, I grew up in a different era where if your kid cursed or talked shit, you put soap in his mouth. You did beat that ass. And so now we live in an era where you can't do that. So what you've done is you've taken away fear of even the initial authority being the parents. And once you've done that, they no longer fear the parents. They're not going to believe in fearing if they don't fear the people that's right in front of them as their authorities, to fear something that they can't physically see like a God, what makes you think they're going to fear that and go by and live by those commandments when you tell my children they don't have to live by my commandments?
Right.
So it's a cycle.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I agree. I mean, and the schools are teaching them that it's okay to tell your parents, no, you can't do that to me.
Yeah.
No, you can't be that person. No. What? Every one of us up here has been through that, where we either had soap put in our mouth, we've had our ass whooped for doing something wrong, we've been busted in the mouth for saying something. We're all still sitting here. We're all still decent people. Why is that such a bad thing? But that's what they've done to these people. So now, in turn, you can't say anything anymore. It's bullshit. I don't like it.
You got soap put in your mouth.
Yep.
My mama only did that to me one time because I literally was sick as a dog for 3 days.
What kind of
Not
soap did you
kidding.
put in your mouth?
It was just, I don't know, it's a white bar, like Dove or something. But I was like sick for 3. I was so press pot. I was like, I wouldn't eat or nothing. She was like, nope, never again.
Swallow it?
No, I mean, she told me
swallow it.
That's what she made sure my head was like facing down, right? And she just put the soap in there. And I was like, oh, it just, for 3 days, I was just gone.
Yep. Good old dial, the yellow dial soap. That's what was in my mouth on a regular.
Ugh. I'd have kicked somebody with that one. That's the stinkingest soap.
It was Irish Spring in my house.
I love the way that stuff smells, but I could not have that in my mouth.
I give you some fresh breath.
Yeah, I wasn't that lucky. I got beat with a big plastic spoon. I didn't get soap in my mouth.
Oh, my mama wore me out too. Like, she had a flip flop or a racetrack, a Hot Wheels racetrack or a flip flop.
Whatever she could grab.
Clue says, I love the way that smells, but you ain't putting that in my mouth. Giggity. Oh, that's funny shit.
So did they drop a press conference for that? Did they say? Somebody said in chat.
I don't know. I didn't see that.
I've seen somebody say something about a press conference on that.
Then it must be related.
I'm guessing. I know Sarge said we played that press conference. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
It wasn't really a press conference. It was just
news report. I'm sorry.
NC Mountain Man in the chat just said something that's got me laughing. He said the same soap that your dad used to wash his ass with.
Probably.
I never had that. Like when I got my mouth washed out with soap, it was always a fresh bar. And I didn't have a dad at the house, so I didn't really worry about that. But that is nasty. I didn't think about that. The kids that
That's a good point. I didn't either ever think about that. Yeah.
Right.
Damn. It makes you wonder how many kids had their dad's ass hair in their mouth at some point.
That's disgusting. Because remember, back then we didn't have loofahs. You literally used the bar of soap. You know what I mean?
Or a water bag or whatever. Yeah, right.
Yep. That's crazy.
That's nuts. I never thought of that.
That's so gross.
Yeah, it is. North Carolina. Where'd you come up with that at, bro? I'd have never thought of that. Damn.
It makes you think back, and you're like, were all the bars of soap fresh? You know what I mean?
Right. I think one time my mother dumped a dish soap bottle, and she dropped a drop of that Dawn dish soap on my tongue. And I'll tell you what, that's the worst. That was the worst.
Yeah.
It don't come out. You can rinse your mouth 1,000,000 times, it still don't go away. I said from having my dad's ass soap in my mouth. It was good.
Nasty.
Yeah, it is.
Man.
Do you see any kind of a press conference being had, Clue?
No, I saw one. I guess it was from yesterday because it was like 18 hours ago. But Heather just sent me the cause of death for Audrey Cunningham was released.
What is it?
Blunt force trauma.
Are
you seriously?
Yeah. Let me see. Can I put this up here? Hold on.
Did they say anything about her? Was she assaulted sexually?
That doesn't say.
I don't even know if I want to know that.
Like, it doesn't say in this article.
I'm gonna assume it though.
It says
Just based on his past, I'm gonna assume it.
A family friend.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
blunt force. It says Audrey was found to have died from blunt force trauma. The death has been ruled a homicide following the autopsy. And cause of death has been revealed after the body was found in a lake tied to a rock with a rope that matched one found in the car of a family friend accused of her murder. She was found to have died from blunt force trauma. The death has been ruled a homicide following the autopsy.
I hope they drop this piece of shit in general population and walk away.
Oh, yeah, me too. Oh, and I saw something last night on him about, like, this lawyer was talking. Do you remember what he was saying? Like, oh, yeah. So days before this happened with her, this woman knocks on the door of a house.
Well, no, this was 6 months prior.
Oh, well, never mind. I thought you said it was.
No, it was 6.
But it was determined, had they done their job, and go look at the history and get that video, and I'll put it up. It was basically, there's video or audio of the cops saying that we effed up this investigation. It's pretty much what they said. And the attorney is like, had they handled it in the correct way, then this probably would not have even happened, which is crazy looking at the video we looked at earlier with the drunk chief cop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this is endemic. It's just a tragedy. The people that are just in places that can make a difference for the better are usually the worst losers of all.
Pie bit of, oh yeah, it was for JB. I'll write it here, but it was for hazing. I think it was either hazing or something like that. I don't think it was drinking or anything. I could be wrong. That was forever ago that I looked at it. So
it's on KPRC YouTube channel, and it was 15 hours ago. Pull it up.
All right, hold on, y'all.
Somebody also said in the chat a long while ago that the University of Idaho, something happened with a fight club. There's arrests and stuff at the university.
What?
Yeah, somebody said that a long time ago in chat, and I tried bringing it up, but I got overruled.
You're kidding me.
No.
Oh my God.
Queen Clue shut me down.
And then right there, that one.
All right, let me put this up here. Okay. Let me make sure. All right.
Audrey Cunningham. Thank you for joining us at 10. I'm Keith Gardner.
Good evening. I'm Daniela Guzman. Well, today, the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office confirming the young girl's primary cause of death as homicidal violence with blunt head trauma. Investigators saying her father's friend, Don Stephen McDougal, this man right here, is the man who murdered her, charging him with capital murder. But should he have been behind bars before the fifth grader vanished? Tonight, only on KPRC2. Obtained an audio recording of the Polk County Sheriff appearing to admit the ball was dropped in a previous criminal investigation involving Audrey's suspected killer.
KPRC2's Bryce Newberry has been covering this case since Audrey disappeared. He joins us now tonight in studio with what we've learned. Bryce.
Yeah, Keith and Daniela, 6 months before Audrey Cunningham disappeared, the man now accused of killing her is also accused of violently stabbing a stranger 3 times. Many have asked why he wasn't arrested for that. And tonight, only KPRC2 has audio, which appears to be the Polk County Sheriff Byron Lyons admitting the stabbing investigation was mishandled. These images show the 3 bloody knife wounds in David Stanley's back on August 19th. David Feldman.
Mr. Stanley received a knock on the door from a female. She stated her car was broken down. She needed some help. So Mr. Stanley goes out to her vehicle As he approaches the vehicle, he's ambushed and stabbed.
As investigators zeroed in on Don Stephen McDougal as a person of interest in Audrey Cunningham's disappearance, they say he confessed to the stabbing while being questioned by Texas Rangers. That's what landed him behind bars as the desperate search for the missing fifth grader continued. Days later, prosecutors charged him with capital murder in her disappearance and death. But why wasn't he arrested sooner for the alleged stabbing?
There was some circumstances that took place that would not allow us to be able to arrest him at that time, and he would not cooperate, would not basically lawyer it up, would not talk with the investigators.
That was the answer Polk County Sheriff Byron Lyons gave at a press conference Monday.
It was just a investigation.
But in new audio obtained only by KPRC during a late November meeting for approximately 30 minutes with the stabbing victim's girlfriend, Sheriff Lyons appears to admit the case wasn't being investigated properly.
We dropped the ball on this, and we're trying to find the ball to get it fixed. We didn't do a job. That's why we didn't come back. We're fixing it. We're making it right.
A timeline of the stabbing investigation the sheriff's office shared with KPRC reveals a new investigator got assigned to the case within a day of that recorded conversation.
Months transpired to actually arrest McDougal for the stabbing on August 19, 2023, but for whatever reason, they chose not to, and he remained on the street.
According to the sheriff's office timeline, Stanley initially identified the wrong suspect, who they arrested but later released. Stanley identified McDougal as the suspected stabber in early September and again in early December. But the case against him didn't advance until February 8th, when the sheriff's office submitted the investigation to the prosecutor's office for grand jury consideration. But that was 6 months after the stabbing and 1 week before Audrey disappeared.
This is a tragedy that should not have happened. Had law enforcement done their job the last few months, I don't think you'd be talking to me about the disappearance of Audrey Cunningham.
And the sheriff's office tells me they did not have sufficient evidence to arrest McDougal for the stabbing until his confession to the Rangers after Audrey disappeared. Tonight, Sheriff Lyons' chief deputy responded to those recordings, telling KPRC2 the sheriff is aggravated and feels like the ball had been dropped. Stanley identified the wrong person who was arrested and put in jail. The sheriff does not agree with an innocent person going to jail for any reason. You can read their full response at click2houston.com. But that response does not address any problems with how the sheriff's office did their job, as you heard the sheriff saying. But we know Audrey's death has touched so many of you. We will continue asking questions. Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
All right. Not only should he have been already locked up, that broad that helped him ambush them.
Yes, 100%.
Well, and I'm going to say this too, right? I want to go back again. This guy's already committed acts against kids once. Right. Had they not put his ass back out into the public, into society, the guy that got stabbed wouldn't have happened. This girl that's dead would not have happened.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, the cops screwed that investigation up. Okay, I'm glad they own that. But again, at the end of the day, it's not just on the fact that they screwed it up. It's also that the justice system and the government has put things into a place that allowed this guy to be out in the public to begin with. And it's craziness.
It goes back to what I said yesterday. Certain things you cannot be rehabilitated from. If you're a sexual predator of any kind, whether it's a rapist or a child molester, that's not something that I think you recover from. Normal people don't go to those measures in order to get off. Do you see what I'm saying? And even crazier is if you're sexually attracted to children, that's not going away anywhere. Because like I said yesterday, we all have the type of people we're attracted to, and typically it remains that way for the entirety of our life. That's why I don't believe it's curable. I'm okay with death penalty for chomos.
Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah, 100%. I'm okay with that as well.
100%.
I agree with that as well. Some crimes should be punishable by elimination. Nothing you're offering society is going to move us forward. It's just going to hurt us.
Right. And I mean, to be fair, like, how much money are you going to ask for from American people? We got to pay for immigrants. We got to pay for people who do shit like this. Bro, it's time. Like,
I've been saying that we've been paying out of pocket The man that murdered, raped, burnt, sodomized my best friend when we were 12 years old has been sitting on death row for 45 years that I'm paying out of my pocket for all this time because he's appealed that many times and he's still sitting on death row.
That's something I've always wondered. Like, when somebody is on death row, why does it take so long to get to the death part?
Because the appeal.
Because we ain't run this place as we should be. People like us should be in charge. That's the truth. Your common sense, you're not outrageously gonna force shit down people's throat. Even JB, which people might consider extreme, is saying, yeah, keep religion out of school. What I'm saying is, people with common sense and knowing the level of right and wrong is what they balance their decisions on. We don't have those people in charge. They're just not there. But there's many of you in the public. Okay, that's what I mean, and it's that many that could have a louder voice and affect change than these little jerk offs like these little chiefs of police. Right?
Ford sucks. I was gonna bring that story up too. Diego and I were talking about it earlier. Let me see if I can.
That's just crazy.
I'm gonna say this though. I gotta, for that sheriff to make that statement, whether he knew he was being recorded or not. He's not a bad guy.
No,
right?
I agree.
Yeah, at least he takes accountability for it. Nobody does that.
He's in charge of that department. They screwed up. He didn't say my guys screwed up. We dropped the ball.
He
And
should
we're
offer
going to
his
do what we got to do to
resignation.
make it right.
Yep, he should offer up his resignation in the name of the persons and people involved that dropped the ball. They all should offer it up. And then it should be decided upon, not based on some union agreement, but based on the right or wrongness of it all. Was it an accident? Was it unintentional? Were you lazy? Were you out with your girl having sex, cheating on your wife while you made these? You know what I mean? We should understand what happened, and then decisions should be made for those involved. But I think they should offer up their resignation, and that should be held until a full review of his statements in that case are known, and then accept them or not.
I'm going to play this one for you guys. The one that Ford Sucks was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Sad story out of Tennessee. A deputy making his first
Can you turn it up a little?
goes off the road straight into a
That's
river,
it.
finding himself and the
Okay, that's
suspect
fine.
handcuffed in the back. We're taking a closer look at the circumstances and who the victims were with Brookford, North Carolina Police Chief Will Armstrong. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Such a sad development out in Tennessee. We have this 35-year-old rookie cop. He just achieved his dream of becoming a police officer, and now he was found dead near his patrol car in the Tennessee River in the Birchwood area just after making his first arrest. And this is not even the only sad part about this case. The suspect that he had arrested was handcuffed and essentially trapped in the back of the car, submerged in the water. She's dead as well. This is absolutely terrible. Let's talk about it and explain what happened. So, Robert R.J. Leonard, a father of 5, had graduated from the academy in December. He took a position with the Meigs County Sheriff's Office as a deputy. But now you fast forward to February 14th, Valentine's Day, and Leonard's wife posted photos to Facebook to celebrate the holiday, but hours later, her husband would be missing. This after he had just sent her a text saying he made his first arrest. Here's Attorney General Russell Johnson explaining how before he disappeared, Leonard responded to a scene to make that first arrest and how he ultimately didn't check in.
What we know is that he arrived on the scene at 9:48 p.m. on Wednesday evening, and he indicated that he was on scene. 3 minutes later at 9:51, and he indicated 10:15 that he was en route with a subject back to the Meigs County Jail. It's my understanding from this area, there's various ways you can get back to the Meigs County Jail. We'll note that, as you might have discovered, cell phone service in this neck of the woods, so to speak, is not good, and as radio communications are not, as we found out here tonight in our effort to try to locate him. So within 3 minutes, he was turned around and coming back. The next communication happened about approximately 12 minutes later at 10:03, and there was a radio communication that came out, and dispatch couldn't tell what he was saying or what he had said, and it took a while and some analytics to go into play for us to see what was being, or try to understand what was being said. And we think he was saying water. At the very same time, he was also texting his wife. It's my understanding he sent a one-word text that said arrest. Evidently, I'm learning this is his first arrest. His wife texted back and said, that's good, or that's great. We know that he did not receive, his phone did not evidently receive that text. So those two things happened at the same time. So dispatch at that point started doing a status check, and every deputy or officer that was out checked in, said 10-4, they're okay, but not Deputy Leonard.
So very chilling stuff right there.
I mean, I don't feel like I need to play anymore, but Kenny, they can actually tell that you were texting. You know what I mean? I'm assuming.
Yeah, they've got the phone.
Yeah, they
Like they know. Like I know at one point people were worried that they couldn't get out of a ticket because they would be able to tell that you were texting or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know if they actually do all that, if they, you know, for just a sheer texting while driving charge. But
can I just say that this goes all the way back to my arguments with police corruption being an ingrained system of training that's observed by the cadets and carried into the field. This guy texting on his phone knows he shouldn't be doing that. He's there to enforce the law against doing that, and yet he's doing it. These are the kinds of problems people, when they get these positions of authority or power, where now you're the law and I'm just Johnny Citizen. This ended horrifically, but that's just an example of police doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, as if it's okay for them to do it, but no one else.
Rules for thee, and not for me.
Yeah.
The way, I mean, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So I agree with you about corruption.
You don't think, and the corruption isn't that this guy is intentionally trying to be, gain from his corruption, but they'll violate laws in ways that they'll put us in jail for, because they think they are the law, and that training needs to be changed.
I mean, you know the you've heard this, the lead by example. Like, how are you supposed to enforce a law when you don't follow it yourself? Period.
Right. A policeman speeding is a form of corruption. If he's speeding to get home, or speeding to go get coffee, or speeding to go anywhere that's not crime related, that's a crime. That's a form of corruption. Them doing what they want to do. And that is not your job. Your job is a detailed, specific list of things you're supposed to do, and you're not to deviate from it. And they do constantly, because they see themselves as a separate class of people. That's the endemic corruption. And you may not like the statement, but if Black Lives Matter got anything right, it's that issue and that issue alone, that the corruption is endemic and it's built into the system. This kid may have rolled around as a rookie with other policemen that were texting while they were training him, right? I wouldn't doubt that.
To be fair, though, I think it starts at the earliest days of life, though. Us as parents do it. Like, for instance, I love to drink. I make sure my kids know drinking is bad. So what I mean is, basically, it's a do as I say, not as I do type of situation. And I believe we all started early, so I don't know if it'll ever be fixed. Because it's a system that I don't think is specific to law enforcement. I think everybody with authority does it.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with that.
He's right. It does happen. Like around here, the laws are for emergency vehicles, police, fire, ambulance, whatever. You're allowed to go 15 miles over the speed limit, period. Okay. Now, I think in some situations, law enforcement, me, in an ambulance before, depending on what the call is or whatever it is, might step it up a little bit, but law enforcement does it all the time. I see it happen all the time. They're going 60 miles an hour in a 35 because they can, because they have lights on their car. That's, you're breaking the law.
They fly. They fly by our house. Like, I'm like, if something happens and there's something in the road, like one day you're just going to come right through the house.
How many times have you seen a police cruiser go through a red light, flip their lights on and their siren on, to go through a red light and then turn it off?
Yeah, just turn it off right when you're done. It's like,
you're breaking the law. That's bullshit. And I pulled up next to police cars, and looked over and they're texting. It's illegal, folks.
I have done 3 occasions in my life, I've pulled up next to policemen that set up in a radar zone that blew by me at speeds well in excess of the speed limit. I'm on the expressway going 60 and 55, and they blow by me. And miles later, that car, I catch the number, because I do that when a cop blows by me. I read the plate number. I go up the street, and now they're pulled over ready to set up radar. I've pulled in and got their badge number, car number, time of day, and turned them into their lieutenant.
Yep.
That more citizens should do that. It's unacceptable for you to go 80 miles an hour to then hypocritically park and set up a radar gun to nail other people that are speeding.
They gotta be held accountable if we're expected to be. Period.
People are able to do that. I caught no ramifications. I did it 3 times. One time I was called into the barracks to talk to the shift commander and explain my side of the story, and he reamed that police officer out. But that's what I mean by Americans have more power. If we want them to lead by example, we should hold them accountable by example.
That's exactly it. And that's exactly why, like that video that Clue showed us a little while ago with the Jersey police chief and the police officer, that's why things like that happen. That's why that chief thinks that it's okay to go get drunk and then go to a scene, because it's been allowed, because it's happened, because there's no accountability there.
And a lot of these policemen have got a mortgage, a family, kids. What are they supposed to do? That's the other thing. I mean, we say it's only the corrupt that do it for money, but in the end, we're left with that choice. It's either we lose everything to do the right thing, or we turn our head and things just keep going on.
Right.
A lot of people find themselves in those situations. I think that policeman, like that one scene she played, she's got a video that'll blow your socks off when it comes to our police chief being corrupt.
That's what I was just talking about.
This guy, if he didn't have a body cam, I wonder if he would have went along with the chief. Poor bastard.
That's what I was just talking about, because that's why those things happen, because it's been allowed, because there's been no accountability for that.
Because good people have a threshold over their head, right? You lose your job.
Yep.
Right? How do you feed your family? Who's going to hire a cop that got fired?
An everyday citizen that sees this, that knows this, that has had an interaction with this police chief, maybe in the past, that's been intoxicated, may have a fear to approach that situation out of fear of being reprimanded in a private way down the road, or not in a private way, but in another way, somewhere in their life down the road, if they run into this, or other officers. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, if I say anything about this, they're going to come after me. That should not be something that we all think about on a daily basis. If I do this, they're going to come after me. If I say that, they're going to come after me. If I go this way, they're going to come after me. That should never be a thought in our mind, but it is every day.
Yeah. Yeah, and we become complicit in the system because we participate in it as it is, and we don't do anything to solve it. That's why I've said since I've come around this time, somehow, I don't know, I don't think I could do it myself, but solutions need to be offered. And whether they do anything or not, at least people will get the sense that maybe there are things we can do, right? My solution might be stupid, but where are the solutions?
Yeah. Well, we just got to start small and start making it happen, folks. Accountability is number one in all of it.
He needs that link again, Clue. He's changed into a computer or something.
Yeah, I see him.
Skinny, is that your cat?
Excuse me?
That statement you have up there, Skinny, has a icon. It's a cat. If that cat's real, that's amazingly adorable. Look at the cat's face and its chest.
It's a heart, ain't it?
On both the mouth and the chest. That's cute. I love cats, but you know.
Really, Dicko? I would not take you for a cat person.
Seriously, I love cats.
Not me.
What did you think I was into then? Big nasty dogs?
Maybe.
Why they got to be big nasty dogs?
Right.
She's got cats. She's got dogs smaller than cats, Dago. So don't let her preach to you about cats.
I got my little white dog.
First off, my dogs don't act like cats. Okay, I don't know why cats they freak me out.
My cat acts like a dog. I trained him like a dog.
I don't like something with like sharper nails than I have in cats. And then they want to get all up in your face in the morning time and breathe that breath in your ear. Nah, I'm good. Sorry, little rant there. My bad.
Oh, look, he's back home.
Hey, cats suck. I'm just gonna say that now.
See,
I'm gonna get me.
I didn't used to like them. I used to hate cats until I got this one that I have. He's my cat, and something happened. I don't know. I mean, this cat plays fetch. I trained him to fetch like a dog. He does everything. I trained him like a dog. It's crazy. But he's very loyal. He's a very good cat. Other than that, I never liked him until this one. So
if I can't eat the cat, I don't want it.
You gotta order Chinese.
Where you're at, you could actually.
Like we literally have 4 dogs and like 40 chickens, and I would let one of the chickens live inside before I get a cat. Now I will say this much, okay?
I don't know.
And
about
the only reason I say that, cats are really not that bad. They are fun to watch because they fall down and stuff, and they're like living idiots. But ever since they got that little litter robot computer thing that'll empty the poop for me, I might get one. But I'm not picking up shit. I've already raised the kid. I'm not doing that no more.
See, mine don't do that. He goes outside and does all that stuff. I ain't worried about it.
You trained your cat to go outside?
Sure as hell did. I told you, it's trained like a dog.
Train a cat to do what you train a dog. There's no difference in how you train him.
And he's super loyal. He's more loyal than a damn dog is to me. I walk out the door, he's standing right next to me. He follows me to the mailbox. Wherever I go, that cat's there.
Cats just look evil to me, man. They just look like they want to do something to you.
Yes.
You're right. They are very
really.
They're vindictive animals. They are.
Yes.
They get what they want. And
I was going to ask you, did you look and see if they actually killed that possum, or did they just bring it up here for fun and it was playing dead? Sorry, our dogs. We got we have a plot hound, maybe a Catahoula. We don't really know what it is, and we have a German Shepherd, and they're always killing stuff outside. Last night they brought a possum up to the porch.
A white rat.
And I was wondering if they killed it or if it was playing dead.
I hate possums. They're the nastiest things out there.
My neighbor's dog killed a possum. Left it in my yard. It's like, that's nice.
I got to get rid of this damn. I miss Oscar too, Kim. That was my favorite dog in the planet. He died last May. We got this new white one now.
Did you stream today, JB?
Nope. I didn't wake up until 10 o'clock. This is the latest I've slept probably in 10 years. Drank a lot of beer. And I woke up and my money was right already that day. I said, you know what? I'm taking the day to fuck off. You know what I mean? And so no, I haven't done shit all day.
Good for you.
Hey.
Same here. I haven't done shit all day either.
Ain't you on like vacation or something anyway?
Yeah, but I work while I still got to work while I'm on vacation. But
enjoy it.
Yeah, but ultimately, when it comes to this morning, it just, I mean, fuck. Sometimes you got to take days off. I pretty much work all the time, so I haven't done shit. I haven't even showered. Still wearing the same shirt I wore in last night's stream.
Oh my gosh.
No, I was going to say something, but I let it slide.
Fuck it.
I like how you immediately get in your room and you start cursing, but when you're outside in the Magic Kingdom, you behave.
Well, it's just one of those things. Like I am a civil person. Like what I mean is because there's kids around, right? I'm just because I'm willing to cuss on my show and on here and all this. In general, I try not to be vulgar when I'm around other children. It's the adult thing to do.
Same way.
Yeah.
Well, Sarge is my 4-year-old, so.
No, and I'm not talking about these kids here. These little motherfuckers, I'll be as vulgar as hell with. I'm talking about other people's kids. You see what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know if you like I assume you don't like your kids hearing a grown ass man say "suck my dick" on a live stream. So my point of this is that I'm not going to say that type of shit when I'm around your kids. It's respect to other parents.
Yeah, agree.
I'm the same way when it comes to that. And other strangers, I'm not as open or freely speaking when I'm around strangers or other people's children. The combination of either one of them, and I could behave. And the fact that I'm her 4-year-old, I don't know how that could be when she's going to marry my son.
You're going to marry my son.
You're your own grandpa.
Did you know that, JB, that Sergeant Friday is going to be my father-in-law because that's Cletus's daddy?
I did not know that.
Good luck with that.
I didn't know that either. I'm terrified now.
How long have we been up here?
2 hours.
3 hours.
How can you tell that?
Damn. Oh, okay. There it is, up in the left-hand corner. I
It's
see
in
it
the
now.
screen. It tells you right there.
Grandpa's getting tired.
It's about his nap time.
No. See, even JB, everybody loves me for my naps.
No, I was actually talking about Dago
No.
on that one.
To be fair, before I came to Florida, when I napped every day. That's how I knew I was getting older. Here, I can't really do it because too much shit to do. But
I've been napping.
Yeah,
since
as
I
long
was
as
28
if
years old.
I don't stay busy, if I go sit down on that couch right now,
yeah,
and start watching something on TV, I'm out like that. End
Oh.
of story.
Oh, 100%. 100%. If I sit in the couch, if I do, like, if I,
That is such a guy thing. That is only a
don't happen
male
to me.
thing.
I don't make it to a
Okay.
single, I don't make it to a single television show unless I'm sitting right here. Like if I'm at my desk looking. If I lay down or sit on the couch, I'm out.
Hell, I've even almost fallen asleep sitting here if I'm tired enough.
Oh, anybody that's watched my streams enough know I do fall asleep. Literally on stream, watching TV, does not matter. Once beer says you're done for the night, you're done for the night.
Oh, Dago was falling asleep the other night. His fiance was like, "Is he falling asleep?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't think so." I was like, "I think he's just focusing." And I swear, it was not 2 minutes later. He was like, "Zonk," but he woke himself up. It was hilarious to watch.
If things get stationary in here and I'm either listening to somebody read or we're watching like a long video or something, and I start like this, I'm into this and I'm watching it, I've caught myself going out like, okay, wake up, come on. That's why I drink so much damn coffee.
Poor fiance, I'm too loud for you to ever fall asleep. And if you do fall asleep, I'm sticking my finger in your nose or something. Wake up.
No, JC Sarge isn't really Cletus's dad. That's a joke.
Cletus,
it's funny.
Tell the truth, Cletus.
I think that's real, but
I've had people say like, "Why don't you stop streaming before you fall asleep?" I'm like, "Because I don't stop making money." And
Why
that's
don't you
number
stop
one.
watching?
Well, yeah, and that's what I tell them. I'm like, number one, they really don't believe me when I say I don't give a fuck what my audience thinks or anyone. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't comprehend there being a human being, even though there's several people like me that genuinely don't care what people think about me. You see what I'm saying? Like they're like, isn't it a bad look for you to fall asleep, pass out on your stream? I'm like, bad look for who? My paying audience loves it. So why would I care about people that's not paying me what they have to fucking say about me on my shit at my job? Makes no sense. If you're not buying the fucking burger when you walk into the restaurant, don't criticize the fucking establishment.
I tell you what, you done got me up to $5 almost.
Damn.
I'm gonna be sitting here collecting the swear jar money now.
That's what she wants.
Wow, what the fuck?
Let's bankrupt her.
Really?
Oh, y'all have a swear jar?
I just put it up there today.
Oh, well,
I
I'm
didn't
late.
know about it. So I'm exempt.
I'm late to that. I'm late to that party.
That's a self-investment clue.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is.
Looks like this will be my last show.
Gonna have to stream to pay a swear bill.
I think it's more of an awareness thing for her, so she knows. Oh yeah, all right. I've said fuck way too many times in this stream.
Oh, as if I behave. I don't know what y'all do on here, but
So you all of a sudden, after all that shit we talked last night, today you're like, oh, I'm going clean. I'm going to go PC. I'm not going to not curse.
No. I only did it because in the chat they were like, you need to have a swear jar. So I put a swear jar up there. I don't give a shit if y'all cuss.
It's a good savings account.
Also, Liz W, thank you for the super sticker. I can't never get them. That's a
I
sticker.
don't even know. I think calling any word a swear word in today's day and age is insanity.
No, I agree completely. I've always felt that way. I've never. I don't understand why people make such a big deal about it. There's no difference to me between the word shit and feces.
Yeah, people want to exercise their thoughts of superiority. Like when people attack you for a typed word that you misspelled.
Well, yes. And then keep in mind, a lot of times they use it with replacement words that doesn't, you're saying the same thing. Whether I say goddamn and you say god darn, it doesn't really matter. We're saying the same thing, no matter what you want to say. If I drop something and say fuck, or you drop something and say darn, we mean the exact same thing. Context matters with words. To me, it's not cursing unless I'm calling you a dumb motherfucker. If I'm just saying the word motherfucker, that's different. But if I'm saying, Sarge, you're a dumb motherfucker, that's the curse. You see what I mean?
God damn, it's a different tone from
I
yesterday.
tell you what, friggin' y'all got to stop. Fiance, he can't take it. He was in the damn floor last night.
Yeah, it's like JB. I don't know if he's drinking. The margaritas changed. Yesterday, I couldn't get anything wrong. Today, I'm a dumb motherfucker.
Well, no. I still think you're. I still think you're. I still think you're. I still think you're smart, but it's also because I'm still drinking.
Well, I tried to send it too, but it won't let me type that word, so I had to do it that way.
Oh, thank you, Dago.
I tried. It won't let me type it. It won't send it if you type the actual word.
Oh, I know. You
I don't even
can't
know how to
cuss in a
send money.
super chat for some reason.
Well, now I'm paid up.
For a minute. Don't worry, we're counting.
Fuck it.
There you go.
I'm starting a new tab.
On the house. We got to give him a few on the house there, Clue.
I did.
Oh, she did. For real. Believe me, she did. I ain't mad today, so there ain't nothing really coming out of me like it normally would. You know what I mean? I'm forcing that now.
No, you got your anger out with all them sick dance moves last night in front of the camera.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I was
That was so fun.
That was fun, man. I was watching you and Caden's heads like in sync, bobbing. I was like, that's hilarious.
Me and this chick was sitting here just laughing our fucking ass off. I'm sitting here, she's laying there. You were playing great music, but we was laughing. We were just little youngster, man. I'm shocked that little youngster knew all them old school jams. That was, and I knew he knew them because he's singing them though. I'm watching his lips moving on every single old jam.
He knows it all. He's very, very. He's borderline autistic, and he's very, very musically inclined. He can play 6 different instruments. He dances like you wouldn't believe, and he sounds like an angel when he sings. But the kid knows good music. He don't like the shitty ass music.
Well, I threw a monkey wrench in there to test the theory because you were doing a lot of 90s and stuff like that. So I threw in, I did the request for the reasons, and he still was doing it. I was like, yeah. Caden was cool.
I mean, I'm good with music. I always have been. My mother was good with it. He knows it all. He loves the good stuff. So. But I appreciate the nice words about it. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. And like I said, it's just been a fucked up week from day one to today, and it needed done. People need to take a break from this shit sometimes and just digress from it and let it out because it's been shit. And that's what we did last night. Period.
I know exactly how you feel. You got to remember, I cover all news and not just true crime. So it quadruples on me. A lot of you guys, when you're just doing true crime, don't get me wrong, it still fucks with you. Now if you add to that all the geopolitics, everything, you know what I mean? No, sometimes I quit working and I feel like I feel more exhausted mentally than I would if I was working in the damn mines or something all day.
Absolutely. People don't get that. They think, I quit drinking 5 years ago. You know how many times in the past 6 months I've wanted to go back to it just because of this shit? And I only do true crime. I can't even imagine handling politics and all the other bullshit. You know what I mean?
Do it.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm with her. I'm saying do it.
Oh no. I couldn't do this if I went back to drinking. No
Come to the light, Caroline. Come to the light.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now. If I started drinking like I used to drink, I'd be in here like sideways and with the microphone shoved up my ass or something.
No, man. If you like Mike shoved up your ass, don't blame that shit on the alcohol.
It ain't gonna happen. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fun when I'm drinking, but I just get too laid out. I can't focus on shit.
No, I know how it goes. I know how it goes.
These guys are out of control, says Clue.
100%.
Never. Total control. Control freaks. We're control addicts.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. I wish I could quit smoking. That's what I wish I could do.
I'm not a drinker at all. No.
Is that your cat back there?
That's a dog. That's a dog.
Oh, whatever.
He
It
got
looked
both.
like a cat from the back.
No, the cat's outside. He won't come in the house because the dog's in the house, and he don't want to come in anymore anyway. He's free out there. He can go do whatever he wants, kill whatever he wants. He's happy.
What the hell?
What time is it? It
So
is.
your time at the park over for the day?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't went yet. All I did there was go to the resort swimming pool and let the kids swim, go to the tiki bar. I'll be going to the parks about 4.
Oh, cool.
Are you at Universal too, or just Disney?
Yeah, Universal, Disney, SeaWorld. We got passes to everything, man. So
They still got SeaWorld down there?
Yeah.
Damn, I miss SeaWorld. We had one here in Ohio, and they took it out like 20 years ago. I miss that place.
Ohio, I even got the passes to the Cedar Parks, like Kings Island, Kings Dominion. You know what I'm saying? I know if you're in Ohio, Cedar Point, you know what I'm talking about.
We got Cedar Point too. Yeah, that's all. We had. Yes.
You can just come up here and visit this summer. I'll have my mama flop around in the pool for you.
I mean, okay. Through there anyway, heading to Alabama. So
I still wish she was in here right now to hear that.
Well,
she was here, wasn't she here earlier? No, that was last night.
That's a thought to look forward to, Dago.
It is what it is.
You know what? I heard somebody told me yesterday in one of my comments, they're like, you seem like you're so much less angry now. I was like, well, it's kind of hard to be pissed off all the time. Where, you know, and then be like, okay, on video, I would be fake as fuck to be like, oh, I'm mad about this murder, this news, and then be like, okay, it's off to go hug Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Yeah,
it changed. Yeah, so I am less angry.
Your environment will change you. That's a fact.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's just something to do all the time. Hell, you know, going to the Titanic exhibit, it's something small as that. You know what I mean? You're just constantly moving, constantly doing shit. I don't have, and it's kind of something I told myself, is I wanted to be less angry in 2024, less personally offended by the news or by idiots on the internet, or so it just I was like, I'll just let people talk about me and let them do that, because that's for some reason what they do. Me, fuck that. I'm just gonna go watch. You know what I mean?
Right. To me, the people that dislike me the most are my favorite fans, because they're the ones that promote me the most. No bad advertising is bad advertising.
Agreed.
Okay?
Agreed.
And so, you know, believe it or not, those usually are what get you noticed. And when people start taking shots at you, and people want to come see what you're all about, right?
Yeah, always has been that way. It's always been that way. And then they get to looking at you and listening to you. They're like, you're nothing like I thought you were. I was like, because you listen to a motherfucker that don't know me. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't take little snippets of shit that I said that you didn't like or whatever and just completely draw that and illustrate that as my whole persona. Because what's going to happen is you're going to make your audience come check me out, and then they're going to see the bigger picture, and they're going to stay. It's just the way it works.
I've seen people do that a lot out here, not here per se, but all over YouTube, where they'll see a live stream or one of us, not us personally, but somebody out here doing this, do one show or how part of a show, and they make a judgment based on something that person said, and they never go back to him again because they decided they don't like that person, but then they see him somewhere else and they're like, that's a completely different person. Well, you only saw him speak for 10 minutes. What do you think? That's not the whole person.
They lack context, and also they don't believe in context. You know what I'm saying? And that's number one. And then number two that I've noticed is that they're fickle in the sense that as long as they agree with you 100% of the time, it's good. But the minute you say something, keep in mind, I got a conservative audience. So let's say I challenge Donald Trump on red flag laws, or I'm not a religious person. So let's say I challenge religion in some aspect. There's been times people that have followed me for 4 or 5 years, but because I said one thing that they disagreed with, they're all of a sudden like, fuck JB. And then I see they start trolling and all kinds of shit. I'm like, damn, you suck me. You can't unsuck this dick. You
know why that happens? You know why that happens? You're pointing out the biggest problem we have as humans, in that people believe in information. So they have a particular belief that contradicts your statements that you think, right?
Right.
And then they paste you as that everything about you now is that one statement, because they rather than accept knowledge as something that you discuss and disagree on, and like we have here, you and I have different opinions on somebody's points, but there's no stopping us from communicating. There's no attacking, because it's just knowledge. We're not questioning each other's belief, faith, morality. We're just having a conversation about knowledge. People can't separate believing information from just taking information as a separate thing. That's what it is. It's data. That's all it is.
I believe I believe everything is preference. So, like, what I mean is, and that goes with anything, whether the people you date, the knowledge you believe, or the perceived knowledge that you believe. It's all about your personal, not just perception, but what's the word I'm looking for? I just said it a second ago. Sorry, I'm drinking. Always. But basically, it's what you prefer, a preference. So, like, people are going to have confirmation bias on anything that they previously believed. And because let's just call it what it is. Most adults, they're unwilling to change their mind about almost anything. And so anyone that says something that contradicts that, they're going to typically have a problem. But the difference is the people that can still communicate while disagreeing. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'd rather have the conversation about shit I disagree with people I disagree with. I don't want an echo chamber.
Yep, I'm the same way. And I'll look at things that I vehemently disagree with. I'm not a supporter of Black Lives Matter. However, I look into things in ways that are unique to me. And I do understand one of their concepts, which is a concept we all can agree on. With all of these videos of these police doing these acts of misbehavior outside of policy, outside of what a decent person should be doing, we can agree that that's an ingrained form of corruption that needs to be addressed. Now, you can label it only happens to blacks, or it only happens to what. I don't care about that argument. The real truth is that if that's corrected, then no race is targeted, right? Because nobody is singled out. The police do their job based on their job, not based on their clique, not based on losing their pension, not based on a jerky boss, a corrupt DA.
I'm going to say something controversial you're not going to agree with. I think they should be targeted. Because crime numbers specifically show that they are more likely
with that.
Right.
I'm saying the actions of the officers, though,
right,
need to be consistently right. Not what we like all day here. We've seen all these videos of police chiefs admitting the investigation's no good, drunk ones showing up at a DWI.
Yes,
right. That's what I'm talking about. That's the ingrained corruption that's a problem. The actual policing of the community. Of course, you target the areas that create the most amount of crime, and race be damned. It is what it is. If they're black, white, Hispanic, it doesn't matter to me. If that's where the center of your crime is taking place, that's where you devote your time.
I believe people are products of their environment, and culture is what the issue is, not necessarily race. I don't think someone's inherently a thug because they're black. No. But if you're raised in the ghetto and you're black, the likelihood of you being a thug is very high. So it's just the reality of the situation. It's not your race. It's what culture raised you and what culture you still live in and that you uplift. If you're talking about, if you're running around here and you still believe in an intense hip hop, and when I say hip hop, I don't mean the music, but an intensified gangster rap / ghetto drug dealing lifestyle. And you believe in neighborhoods and gangs and shit, you're not going to be a good person. You're going to be a criminal. And if that's your culture, I'm going to judge you by that. Period.
That's what it is. That's what life. That's how it is. Period. That's the only way to do it.
I'll say something outrageous, but listen. It's okay with me if you don't like people because of their skin color. I have no objection to that. That's your choice. I respect it. However, if you take that dislike for that particular race and you act on it to harm, interfere, or prevent their livelihood as an American, right, to the dream of this country, then I have a problem with you. See, that is what a racist does. You're not a racist because you don't like people of color. They've changed the meaning of that word. Racism is an action against other races that you are superior to in your mind. That's an act of racism. But sitting in your home, in your head for your whole life, believing that you just don't like black people for whatever reason, is not racism.
Agreed.
It's a personal opinion that should have no bearing in the public conversation because you're allowed to not like people.
Right. Racism is based on action.
Right. And the act of racism. When's the last time you stopped a black guy from getting a hamburger at the same line you were standing?
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said it because it goes back to preference. If I decide, let's just say I am the racist and say I don't like this person or group of people, as long as I'm not acting on that to harm you,
you're not a racist then.
Then it shouldn't even bother you. You see what I'm saying? It shouldn't bother even if you were black. It shouldn't bother you because if I'm not acting on that racism to harm you, who gives a fuck? It's just my opinion.
The thought of dislike in and of itself isn't racist.
Yeah.
It's racism.
I don't get offended. I don't get offended when people say they don't like fat people.
Right.
Fuck it. Then don't suck me off. If you do like, you know what I mean? That's who don't watch me. Don't, you know what I mean? It's who gives a fuck? You know, people are going to have prejudices of all sorts all over.
Right there. Prejudice. You have prejudices. That's not racism.
Mm-hmm.
Once your prejudice crosses over into action, that's racism.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's two different meanings, and that's 100% true.
But here's the truth. I actually am a racist. And I openly admit that because I believe in superiority, like Skinny said in the chat room. I do believe certain groups of people are scientifically, biologically superior to others. Brain size is if you look into this, you will clearly see brain size is different. We have biological and genetical differences. Now, if you mention that, you're all of a sudden a racist. IQ points, the average IQ point for an African American is 78. The average IQ for a white American is about 102. Clearly, there's a brain difference. Clearly, there's a biological difference. And so I look at those things. And I'm not saying necessarily that's the reason for anything, but I'm just saying there are differences. I don't believe we're all the same.
Let me ask you this. Would the guy with a 78 IQ be denied the hamburger you're going to buy?
No.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. You're making a judgment based on information that you've collected.
He has an obsession with beef.
There's nothing wrong with that, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
For people to make a judgment that there's something wrong with you, they themselves are making judgments every second of the day. Even when it comes to climbing stairs. Whether you know it or not, you're making a judgment call on each step you make so you don't trip. Okay.
Thank you, Chad, and congrats, Justice Inframed, and welcome. Clue, I hate to do this, but I have to jump down. I got to do some stuff with my granddaughter.
I'm gonna jump down too. Anyway, we've been going for like 3 hours, and I feel sick.
That's what I was saying. That's why I asked earlier because she come up behind me twice now, and she's like, "Are you done yet, Papa?" I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's
it's that time.
You guys have a good one, man.
You too, and everybody. Thank you for tuning in from this side of things. I appreciate it very much. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Clue, thanks for having me over here. As always, I appreciate you. JB, it's good to see you, brother. Appreciate you.
Good to see you, brother.
You can kiss my ass. Have a good day.
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you. Have a good one, Sarge. And I will. I'll talk to you guys soon. Everybody in chat, don't forget to love yourselves, love each other. Don't change a thing, folks. I love you all, and I will see you all soon.
I don't know if this will end his stream or if I have to end it. Oh, wait, hold on.